What it good be, homies? What it should be, this your boy N.O.R.E.
What up, is DJ EFN.
And this Drink Champs Yappy Hour. Make some noise! Now, when me and EFN started this show, we said we wanted to always give this platform to icons. And we talk about to legends. And what we talk about right now, we have an icon in the building. This man, I just heard Mr. Lee say, you know, he had a flat top. Not only I had a flat top because of this man, my eyes is bushy to this day because of this man. I had cat scratches, they was calling it. And they was like, it's Kane scratches, motherfucker. This man has been influential. Like, I'm listening to his music and I can smell the Jettas driving by my hood. You know what I mean? The Volkswagens was big back then with the vine, with the vanilla, you know, the trees scents, you know what I'm talking about, in the car. Like, oh my God, this man is so influential. He got a documentary. Everyone is participating in the documentary. Everyone is there giving him his flowers. And we had him on before, but we are giving him, we got our shit together. So we are giving him the real flowers. And we're going to talk about Hip Hop 50. We're going to talk about everything. In case you don't know what we're talking about, we're talking about the one, the only, the icon, the impeccable, motherfucking Big Daddy Kane! Yo, so Kane, let's start it with the Hip Hop 50.
Yeah.
Some people are so happy about the Hip Hop 50. Some people are bitter. Some people are in
discrepancies amongst the community.
What do you think the discrepancies came from? In particular, the Yankee Stadium?
No, we've been hearing different. Well, there's people saying that the timeline is off. It's not exactly 50. That could be disputed. And then there's people saying that they feel the Hip Hop 50 is being like a corporate takeover, where it's being over monetized and appropriated is the word that was used. With Special Ed specifically was saying that.
Right.
I mean, you know, if it's giving flowers and paying homage and putting money into artists' pockets,
right,
I don't see that being a major problem.
Absolutely.
You know, but as far as the timeline thing, I think that the issue comes from other people that basically did something for hip hop. Mm-hmm. You know, there are other people that did things in hip hop before.
DJ Hollywood?
Say what?
Like DJ
Hollywood?
Hollywood?
A DJ Hollywood.
Okay.
There are other people that, you know, did things before Herc. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, DJ Hollywood, Eddie Chiba. You know, these guys was rapping before 73. Right. You know, you had DJs like Grandmaster Flowers, Pete DJ Jones, DJ Plummer, Disco King Mario. That was DJing before Kool Herc. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Wow. But in 1973, Herc took all these elements. Mm-hmm. MCing is only one element.
Right.
DJing is only one element.
Right.
In 1973, Herc took all these elements. MCing,
graffiti,
DJing, graffiti, B-boys, because he had the Nigga Twins, Dancing Doug in them, you know.
Yeah, we learned about the Nigga Twins the other day,
Yeah.
I was trying to tell Peter Rosenberg, can you pronounce their name, Peter Rosenberg? He's like, no.
Well, but yeah, you know, Herc took all of these elements and combined them into one. Wow. And that's what hip-hop is.
Wow. Right.
Hip-hop is not just MCing. Mm-hmm. Hip-hop is not just DJing. Mm-hmm. Hip-hop is all these elements, and Herc is the one that combined these. He is the one. He's Thanos.
Right.
He got all the Infinity Stones.
Right. Yeah,
you understand me? So yeah, I give Herc credit for inventing hip-hop in 1973.
Mm-hmm. And that's it, Cedric.
Huh?
What is it?
In the Bronx, right? In the building,
what is
right?
it?
Sedgwick Ave, yeah.
Okay.
And his sister has something to do with it too, right?
It was his
Well,
sister's
I
party.
believe she's the one who threw the party.
Right, and then he was, right.
But I mean, as far as combining the elements, you know, to create what we call hip hop, I credit Herc for that.
Right.
You know,
that was the culmination of it, and that sparks from there.
Yeah. I mean, you know, there's people that can debate me, and I can respect that because I was only 5 years old in 73.
Right.
You know, but I mean, basing it on what was done, because, you know, like Hollywood and Eddie Chiba, their parties was for adults. You couldn't break dance in their parties.
Right.
And they couldn't pass the mic because they're paid DJs. It's not their party. They're getting paid like $1,500, 2 stacks to DJ. So that's they're doing a job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Her created an atmosphere where other MCs can get on the mic. B-boys can break dance without getting kicked out the club for kicking people in their shin and shit like that.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Because, sorry to cut you off, but I was having a conversation and certain people were saying that DJ Hollywood wasn't considered hip hop. I don't understand that. What do they mean? Because he was considered a disco DJ?
Yeah, they were saying that, but I mean at the same time, you got to understand the word hip hop was invented like when, like 77.
Right, they weren't calling it hip hop.
So
I was born in 77. Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it wasn't even called hip hop in 73. I mean, you know, I think that's just a way to just, you know, really hate on Wood, to hate on Hollywood, you know, but I mean, still in all though, it's like he was the first MC.
First MC. So
I mean, when I say MC, I'm not talking about, you know, what Last Poets and Gil Scott Heron did.
Right.
That I call that spoken word.
Okay.
Do you agree with me?
What's my
do
man?
you agree with me? Agree with me? When I say Gil Scott Heron, Last Poets, what they did is spoken word.
Okay.
Which is always building upon each other.
Yeah, it's spoken word.
Right.
What's Kool Herc, man?
Give me a second.
Okay.
What Pig Meat Marham did. Here Comes the Judge.
Right.
Now that's what I would consider rapping.
Right.
But that's in the studio over a band. See what I'm saying? What Hollywood was doing was rhyming over a break beat. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we do in hip hop.
Right. And that's considered MCing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you know, but also like what Kool Rock was doing. Like, you know, like that's just doing the announcing stuff, you know, such and such and such.
That's like Big Daddy Kane's in the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's MCing as well.
Okay.
But I'm talking about rhyming. What I'm talking about right now with Hollywood, I'm just talking about rhyming.
I don't want to go sit with my honey bun.
Well, his first rhyme was actually a rhyme that he bit from Isaac Hayes' song "Good Love."
Oh shit!
Yeah, and from the Black Moses album in 1971.
How did this go?
It's Bonafide was solidified. It's not. I forgot. I know the punchline was it's not how good I do it, baby. It's how I do it good. Yeah,
right.
Bonafide, qualified. Knock on wood. It's not how good I do it, baby. It's how I do it good.
Right.
But that's from Isaac Hayes' song. That's the first thing that he said over the mic in 1971.
Was that really one of your highlights of seeing Snoop bring out Hollywood?
Yeah. Okay. I was honestly, because it's like I feel like Hollywood never gets the credit that he deserved, you know. Right. And as we celebrate 50 years of hip hop, we got to acknowledge Kool Herc. We got to acknowledge Kool Rock. We got to acknowledge DJ Hollywood, Eddie Chiba. We got to acknowledge the Disco Twins from Queens. You know, we really need to. We got to acknowledge Sha Rock, Funky Four, the Cold Crush Brothers, and most definitely Melly Mel, Grandmaster Flash, and the Furious Five.
Right.
Because I think Melly,
And hold on, and I think we all have to understand that there's probably a lot of people that we don't even know about that were a big part of the creation of hip hop.
Well, it's like I always refer to when I talk about Hollywood and Melly Mel, I call Hollywood Ray Charles and I call Melly Mel Sam Cooke. You know, because I think that what Hollywood created, Mel perfected.
Wow.
From 1977 all the way up till around like 2013 when the drill music and all that stuff started coming in, I think anybody that MC'd was following Melly Mel blueprint.
Wow.
He was the first lyricist, and he's the one responsible for making the MC important. Thank you. Because you know, when hip hop began with Herc, it was about the DJ.
Right.
So it was, you know, it was about Herc, not the Herculoids. It was about Flash, not the 3 MCs.
Wow.
You know, it was always about the DJ. That was the most important person. Until Melly Mel started spitting real lyrics that made people say, yo, what the hell did he just say? Hold on, yo, and that's when the MC became important. He's the one that built the platform that's created for us.
Because even if you look at Eric B and Rakim, Eric B name comes first.
Yeah, that was the thing back then.
Yeah.
DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, let's make some noise for that. That's real shit. So, the verses. How did you like doing the verses as a person who's, you've actually survived it? It's like so many people.
No, I love doing it. Like that was my dream come true.
Really?
Yeah, man. I mean, back when KRS came out with The Bridge Is Over.
Right. Oh, yeah.
The way he timed it with Down by Law, I'm like, this is a battle MC. Mm-hmm. He's a battle MC that knows the art of combat. Mm-hmm. I would love to go up against him.
Wow.
But that was my dude, though. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, KRS One, that's him. Him and Miss Melody helped me move out of my parents' crib.
Wow.
You know, like Chris was my dude. Always, yeah.
But I always would think, immediately when I heard that you were battling Chris, I immediately thought, what happened with Kane and Rakim? I mean, obviously you and Chris lived up to expectations, did everything, but everyone was kind of leaning towards the Kane and Rakim. Has that been haunting you like your whole legacy, your whole career? Is like,
I mean, people always wanted us to battle.
You were right?
Right. I mean, that's how this whole thing came into fruition. Swiss called and said, "I need you and Ra to do a versus."
Wow.
And I said, "Well, look." Talk to the other guy.
Right.
If you can make it happen, I'm in.
Call him the other guy?
I don't mean in a disrespectful way. I don't mean in a disrespectful way. I said, talk to the other guy and see if you can make it happen.
Right.
But if you can't,
you want Chris.
Would you entertain me and KRS?
Oh, this was your idea.
And he said, yeah.
Whoa.
So he went through it and tried to make it happen and, couldn't lock it down. And then he was like, yeah, I don't think I'm okay. So then what about me and KRS?
Wow.
And then Swiss says, what about you and LL? And I said, verses is really song for song, not, battling rhymes. It's song for song. So Ella mopped the goddamn floor with me. Like, his catalog is too big, But for the sake of hip-hop...
That's crazy for you to say.
Yeah, I was like, well, for the sake of hip-hop, fuck it, I do it. But I mean, he gonna mop the floor with me. This dude, his longevity is crazy, his albums, I'm like, but I do it.
Right.
Then Swiss says, okay, but do you think the people want to see you and LL or you and Rakim? I said, me and Rakim, without a doubt.
Right.
He's like, and that's what I'm talking about, Kane.
Right.
So I'm like, all right. So we left it alone, and then we entertained it with Triller, because this was before they had merged.
Yeah, that's right.
And Charlie Mack was trying to put that together. And
big up Charlie Mack.
Yeah, shout out to Mack. He couldn't make it happen.
With you and Ra.
Yeah, with me and Ra. He tried to make it happen. He couldn't make it happen either. And then, here's the funniest thing. They called me and said that it's locked down.
Oh, shit. That you and Ra's locked.
And me and Ra gonna do it.
Right.
It was supposed to have been the night that Barrington Levy and Supercat did it.
Okay.
That's the night we were supposed to do it.
Okay.
They called me and said it's locked down, right? And I said, okay. They said, but Ra's using Jazzy Jeff. So we want you to use Kid Capri.
Okay.
So I called Kid Capri and said, yo, they want you to do this versus thing. Capri said, I don't want to, you my man, Rob my man, I'd rather stay neutral. So I was like, I can respect that. I called Charlie Mack back. I was like, yeah, Kid Capri said he'll do it. He's in. Because look, I mean, I knew this shit wasn't going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I knew it wasn't going to happen. So I'm like, yeah, he's in. And then they called me the next day and said, yeah, now we can't make the thing with Rakim happen. You still down to do it with KRS? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Right. They was like, okay, then it'll be you and KRS on that day. And I was like, well, I can't do it, this weekend coming up because I'm laying in bed with COVID right now.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, so they switched it to the following weekend and they got Barrington Levy to do it that weekend because I was sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
If Biz would have been alive for that verses, which song you would have brung him out as a surprise guest?
Oh, just rhyming with Biz. Just rhyming with Biz.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I know that he would have wanted to at least do the hook or Just a Friend, you know.
Oh,
but
yeah, I was thinking picking boogers.
Yeah, nah.
Just a Friend is.
Yeah,
because he had the whole crowd singing.
Yeah, that would have been wild.
And you wrote Just a Friend too?
No.
Okay.
Nah, I didn't do Just a Friend.
Did you get to watch the doc?
I did not get to watch the doc.
He's in it. He's dope. It's dope.
Right. Did you see, because like Biz Markie was one of these people that I would think would be around hip hop forever. Did you see like the demise of or the breakdown of Biz, or no?
No.
Yeah, I didn't see at what point.
It's like Biz had lost a lot of weight from a diet.
Right.
And he was looking good.
Right.
Feeling good, looking energetic, you know. But for my understanding, because of him being so in shape, he wasn't taking his diabetes medicine.
Oh, wow.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, man. God bless, man. This diabetes thing is running rapid in our neighborhood, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I'm drinking motherfucking Ghostface Killer Coffee. What is this called?
Killer Coffee.
Killer Coffee. We drinking Ghostface. It's in a Starbucks cup because I don't have no cups in my crib. So I just did that. You know what I mean? Killer goddamn coffee.
What was the track? I watched the documentary, the Biz one. What was the track that he asked you to write and you said no at first, and then after that you learned your lesson?
Just a Friend.
It was Just a Friend?
Yeah, Just a Friend.
Wait.
I tell you, you gotta watch it. It's wild.
Okay.
Yeah, Just
All right,
a
so
Friend.
how does this happen? Describe this session. Y'all in Marley Marl's there or no?
Huh?
Is Marley Mar in this session?
No.
Okay.
This had nothing to do with
No,
me.
he just asked him. He just went to him.
It wasn't Biz that asked me.
Okay.
It was actually Kool V that asked me. And me and Biz was beefing with each other at the time.
Wow.
It doesn't say that in the documentary, though.
Yeah. We were like, well, I was mad at him.
It seemed like he got mad that you didn't do it. That's what it seemed like
absolutely.
in the doc.
Oh, absolutely. But now, honestly, it was for me being mad, upset with him. Because we had there was a lawsuit going on and Biz dropped out of it and I was upset about that.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So when V asked me to write it, I was like, nah. But damn, I wish I would have though.
Right, yeah. Shit, that was like his biggest record, right?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, bro.
And nobody believed at first when he was talking about the record, how it was going to be. He was going to sing on it.
The craziest thing is like the day that Biz found the beat is the same day that he gave me the beat for Ain't No Half Steppin'. I went to Kool V crib and
Set up Ain't No Half Steppin'. Set up Ain't No Half Steppin'. Set up Ain't No Half Steppin'.
Salute to Kool V. Yeah, I went to Kool V crib and Biz had a bag of records there. So I'm like, what's this? He's like, some records Biz bought. I'm going through them, playing them. Then I heard the Emotions Blind Alley. I'm like, oh, this is sick. So V looped it up in the mixer. How you go, sample in the mixer? He looped it up there. And I started writing to it. But it's Biz.
Right.
Next thing you know, Biz calls the crib.
This Ain't No Half Steppin'.
I'm writing to Ain't No Half Steppin'.
Yeah.
I guess I was writing the rhymes. I can't remember, but I'm writing to it. Then Biz called the crib. I found it. I finally found it. Fuck you talking about? And he was like, the beat. I got it. You got what I need. He found the Freddie Scott You Got What I Need song. And he was like, yeah, I'm telling you this shit gonna go platinum. I guarantee you. Right? And I'm like, well, since you're so happy about that, you probably don't really care about this Blind Alley record, right?
Oh, that was his record.
Yeah, it was his record. Wow. Yeah, I was like, you probably don't care about this Blind Alley. He's like, you can have that shit. My man. Yeah.
Play that. Oh my God. Holy moly guacamole, man. You a motherfucking legend. My brother. I ain't gonna lie.
Appreciate it.
I had so much fun going through your discography, man, but let's talk about the documentary, man. This documentary, I love you getting your flowers, man.
Yeah, he sent me, he shared the clip.
Yes, I love you getting your flowers, man, because you're one of the smoothest people on earth. Let's make some noise. Smoothest nigga on earth. And you always cool, calm, and collective, but hip hop owes you. You know what I mean? We all owe you. You know what I'm saying? what you have brung to the game, like I said, even down from the flat tops to the three cuts, my eyebrows are fucked up right now, Kane. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like this, you know what I'm saying? Did you know how influential you was? Or was this something that you thought out, or this was just you was being exactly who you are?
I was just being me, but I mean, you know, like just looking around, seeing what was going on, I was like, wow, like, you know, okay. But I mean, I felt like it was a beautiful thing because it's like I wasn't influencing anybody to do nothing negative.
Right.
You know, so.
Right. And was Scoop really a barber?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How does this work? You told him you put your clippers down and start dancing? Like, how does this work?
Nah, there was a club called Latin Quarters.
Latin Quarters?
Yeah.
That on 96th Street. That was the old school one.
Nah, I'm talking about 48th.
48th, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you know, I would go there with Biz and whatnot to hang out in mid 80s. And Scoob was with this dance group called the IOU Dancers.
Ooh.
And they would dance before the artists perform. They would do a dance routine before the artists come on stage and perform. And, you know, sometimes by the bar, me, Scoob, and Lays that manages MOP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was with IOU as well. So three of us, we were by the bar just, you know, having drinks. And I was like, yeah, you know, Biz getting me a record deal. When I come out, man, I'd love for you to dance for me. And then when I finally made a record, I went back to school and was like, yo, you ready?
Wow.
And yeah, that's how we made it happen.
And so Biz was technically on before y'all?
Yeah, man. Yo, I'm telling you, you watch this doc.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't know this history. Like, not too many people know how influential and how much Biz had to do with a lot of things.
So how did you and Biz link up?
There was this kid from Long Island that used to always tell me about this dude, Biz Markie. He knew him.
From Wyandotte? For some reason, I think
nah, the dude was from Central Islip.
Okay.
He was from Central Islip. Dude named Wayne.
Okay.
He was dating my cousin. And he used to always tell me about Biz Markie.
Okay.
Then finally one day, he like, yo, my man Biz Markie, I was telling you about here in Albee Square Mall right now.
Albee Square
He beatbox now. He was doing the beat for Numbers.
Wow.
I'm like, he over there right now? I'm like, all right, take me over there. Let me meet him. So we get in the mall, we're walking up to him. I'm like, all right, so listen, I'm going to ask your man for a battle. And after I bust his ass, I don't want to hear about this motherfucker no more. You know? So,
Albee Square Mall.
Yeah, okay. Albee Square Mall. So I asked Biz for a battle. We battled. And after the battle, he was like, yo, you dope, man. You dope, man. He's like, yo, I be doing a lot of shows in like Harlem, Bronx, Long Island. You should get down with me, man. Like, we can make some money. And I guarantee you, one day, I'm going to get you a record deal.
Right. Cause back then, like
crazy.
Back then, like a lot of people, we didn't have Twitter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't have Twitter. So how did you hear about Biz back then? Like, was
this dude Wayne.
Okay.
Like, he was always telling me about this dude Biz Markie.
Who you said?
This dude named Wayne from Central Islip.
Okay, Wayne.
Yeah, he was always telling me about this dude Biz Markie.
Right.
Like, you know, like I could have just battled somebody, you know, tore him out the frame. Yo, but you got to hear my man Biz, though. You know, I was sick of hearing about this dude, man, you know. Yeah. But then, you know, we finally got to meet. We battled, and after the battle, we became friends. He asked me to get down with him, and now I was doing something I never did. Because, I mean, I would go to block parties and battle people on the mic.
Okay. And you were writing these rhymes. This wasn't coming off freestyle, was it?
No, I wasn't doing no off the dome. These was written freestyles.
Okay.
I was just off the. I mean, I don't really do the off the dome thing. Only like in battles. Okay. And like if I see some raggedy shit you got on, then I'll come up with something. You know. But
everyone got on late. Everyone was like, "Oh shit, you already just said."
But I mean, it was like really, written freestyles. But it was like when we went at it and whatnot, and he was like, "Yo, you dope." And, he wanted me to get down with him. But now I'm doing something I'd never done before because I had, never performed.
Right.
I only battled.
Right.
Now I'm on stage doing shows for these dudes, Mike and Dave, in Harlem, Bronx, Long Island.
Right.
He got me actually performing on stage. I never did nothing like that before.
Damn,
that's crazy, man. Let's make some noise for this, man.
And I don't want to give the whole doc because I think people need to watch the documentary.
Absolutely.
You watch it, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
You feel it's fully accurate the way everything's depicted, right?
Yeah, from what I saw, yeah.
The part about you getting in with Marley, about coming and then he didn't want to open the door for you.
Yeah, what happened was Biz spent the night at my crib. And then that morning we went to record store on Ocean Avenue.
Okay.
And he bought the African Lafayette Center beat, the boom, bats. He bought that. And he was like, yo, come ride with me into the city. I got to get to see a record by the Steve Miller Band. He was going to Rock and Soul. No, downstairs records, downstairs. We're going to downstairs. And I'm like, yo, I got a test today, man. I can't skip school. So I went to school. When I took my test, I left like half day and went straight to Marley crib. When I got there.
Queensbridge or no?
No, this was in Astoria.
Okay.
Astoria.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't down the Queensbridge days. You know, I wasn't down there. No, I'm just saying I wasn't down just before my time. Man, cut it out, man. Yeah. But I went to Marley crib and he like opened the door with the chain on and was like, what's up? I'm like, Kane, Biz friend. But I'd been there before.
Right.
But he was talking to me like he didn't know me, and I'm like, I was here. He's like, Biz ain't here.
Right.
I was like, well, I took the train all the way from Brooklyn. He told me to meet him because he supposed to be doing the Nobody Beats the Biz song. Biz ain't here, money. I don't know what to tell you. I was like, all right, no doubt. I was like, well, here, these the rhymes he's supposed to say today. Just give them to him. And he was like, you write Biz shit? I was like, I wrote that. He was like, how'd it go? And I said a little bit of the Nobody Beats the Biz thing. He was like, you rhyme too? I was like, yeah. He was like, let me hear something. Then I spit a rhyme. Then he took the chain off. I was like, yo, come in. You want to work on something? Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's amazing. Holy shit. Because at that time, Marley was like the go-to producer, correct?
Yeah.
Or he was getting to be that?
Like Marley was not only the go-to producer, Marley was the dude that reshaped hip-hop in the mid to late 80s. Because when hip-hop became a music genre, what was happening under the Sylvia Robinson umbrella was hip-hop artists going in the studio recording with bands.
Sylvia Robinson, that's the Sugar Hill Gang. Yeah.
You should know this shit, man.
Yeah, Sugar Hill. Yeah. That's why I had to get back. Yeah. I was on
Sylvia
point.
Robinson,
Okay.
She was taking like Flash and them Funky Four, Treacherous 3. They're going and recording with bands.
Right.
They're not doing what Kool Herc created. Beats, you know what I'm saying? No, not programming. I mean, they're not doing it to a break beat.
Right.
They're, they're rhyming to a band.
Right.
Then the Run DMC era comes that's when they start doing the programming beats with Larry Smith, Rick Rubin and them cats. Davey DMX.
Right.
They're using Linn drums, DMX drum machines, and keyboards and synth sounds. Marley is the one that, took the SP and brought back what Herc was doing. Where you rhyming over the break beat. It's just that a DJ not playing it, a producer's sampling it. It's
I never heard it in this timeline you're saying it.
Yeah, it's the actual break beat that Kirk Flash, Bambaataa, and all these cats was cutting up. It's the actual break beat, and Marley is sampling it. So you're doing exactly what hip-hop was made for.
Yeah, but now it's more
you're doing exactly what hip-hop was made for.
Right, how it started. It was bringing back those breaks.
And Marley is the dude Marley the dude that brought it back. So, he is definitely an innovator in this here culture.
Wow.
Because of what he did with sampling. Yeah.
Goddamn. So, was it back then? Because like nowadays, when people sample music, they actually most of the time, a lot of the times, it's 100% of these publishers claim the rights. Was it like that back then when you were sampling this music? Was it?
The first time I had a problem with it was when I went to Marley crib that day. With the Nobody Beats the Biz.
Nobody Beats the Biz.
He made a beat off of Staple Singer's "I'll Take You There," and that's when I recorded the song "I'll Take You There." It's on my first album. But Fly Ty wanted to put it out, and Prince owned the Staple Singers publishing, and he wasn't digging hip hop then, so he wouldn't clear it.
Wow.
So Prince.
Prince ain't clear shit.
Well, I mean, in the beginning, he changed his mind later on.
Before the chaps, before his ass was out.
Yeah.
He loosened up after that.
Yeah. But I mean, in all honesty, I'm glad because I think that had I'll Take You There came out as a Kane debut, I never would have been successful.
Was you talking about I'll Be Square More on that record as well?
Okay. No.
Okay.
I'll Take You There is talking about going into an imaginary place where everything is beautiful and innocent. You know,
Go on, girl.
It's like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You get a pass on that one because that was an album cut. But Sylvia Robinson shit you should know.
No, we gonna be here all night. Nah, I remember hearing I'll Be Square More, and there's a website right now that's dedicated to all memories of I'll Be Square More. And I remember me being from Queens, and there was some fly shit going on in Brooklyn. It was called Dental Gold, and it was the only place in like New York City that had it.
Grills?
And well, y'all would call it grills in the South.
Down south we call it grills, right?
It was frames, and they went to Albee Square. You had to get it only in Albee Square Mall. It was Dental Gold. And what I'm trying to tell you is, it looked like it came from the dentist. Like, this wasn't like caps. This was like, but it was so fly. But to get to Albee Square Mall, you gotta go through a goddamn danger zone, my dude. Like, I'm a Kane. This shit was.
Nah. Shout out to Hawk, Dog, Pig, Slop, Miami. You know, Big Shy, Big Neil. Yeah, all
I heard
them
you
Brooklyn
shot them out
Grimmies.
in the record. Yeah.
All them Brooklyn Grimmies that, you know, make you leave them all naked, man.
Well,
you go back home sneakerless, coatless.
right.
All that shit.
Your shit was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like, do you recognize Brooklyn still? Like,
It's completely different.
It's completely
different.
Yeah.
Like, I went back to my old block to show my son. I have a 10-year-old. But when he was much younger, I took him to my old block.
Right.
There's like a big mural of me on the wall there. And I was showing him, this is the building I was raised in, you know, right there on, you know, see a second floor right here. I was like, I used to come down here and do da-da-da. While I'm telling him the story, white lady comes out the building with a little ass dog, and the dog runs up my leg. And I'm like, but this didn't happen back then. You know?
Are you trying to scare him straight? And he's like, Dad, this is rap. No.
Nah, I mean, it was just bug. You know, I'm telling them how I grew up, you know, how hood it was, and then all of a sudden,
match up with
you know, yeah. So it's a lot different now. It's a lot different now.
No, I mean, you think it changed for the better? I think it changed for the better.
I think that it changed for the better, but I think that a lot of the history was erased. You know, I think that a lot of history was erased.
As far as hip hop as well?
Well, I thought you were talking about the neighborhood.
Yeah, period. Yeah, I mean, does that involve hip hop? Like,
I mean, you know, it's like I can't take him and say, this is the movie theater that I used to go in, and I have to tuck my pants in my socks because rats be running across the floor, and I don't want none to run up my pants leg. That's gone.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't say, you know, this to Roy Rogers, you know, where cats got stuck up at, because you could rob him on Fulton Street and cut through and come out on Flatbush Avenue. Right. I can't show him none of that stuff. It's all gone. Yeah. Like all those memories is gone.
Right.
I'm sure in your neighborhood as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, all over. But I just never thought, you know, what was shocking to me, I thought the last two boroughs that they would actually fix up was Brooklyn and the Bronx. And then when the what was it, the Nets? As soon as the Nets kind of came, I believe it's the Barclays, right? As soon as it kind of came to the Barclays, I seen that they put a Whole Foods around, and I was like, once they put a Whole Foods, there's white people coming. I was like, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, but I didn't think. But now, I kid you not, I went to Dumbo. To Soho House, and I kid you not, because it's coming right off the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, I knew you about.
You know, like coming from like, you know, the Manhattan side.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to go there and like used to know, like, as soon as you got over that bridge, you in Brooklyn. It's not Manhattan no more. And now it's like you go over there and you like, I'm still in Manhattan. You like, because it's like, you like, am I still in Manhattan? Are they pulling a trick over me?
Yeah,
like,
you look and see the little boats and shit.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I understood, and how about the community? Because I remember that was a big thing about being in Brooklyn. Like, it was a lot of community, and you think that's gone because of the Whole Foods?
When you say community, what do you mean exactly?
Like, you know, like the project people who used to be there together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as opposed to like now, it's like.
Nah, I think that's still, because I mean, just during the Rock the Bells thing, because I had Rock the Bells and I had Lincoln Center, you know, all in New York, but like pretty much a week apart. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna stay in New York the whole time. And I got an Airbnb in Bushwick.
Wow.
And when I arrived at the Airbnb, Bushwick made it known, like, nah, nigga, you still in the hood. Don't get it twisted.
Was they Puerto Ricans? Was they Puerto Ricans?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's make some noise in the Bushwick Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans. Go ahead. Yeah, so, oh man, yo, I mean, hip hop, man. Did you ever, like, I know this is a cliche type of question, but did you ever think that hip hop would make it this far?
Absolutely.
You knew
Absolutely.
this?
Absolutely.
Really?
Because you gotta understand. I mean, like I love psychedelic rock, right? Like Jimi Hendrix, Cream, Janis Joplin. I love that type of stuff, you know. So as a rock fan, to hear like, you know, like how it was about Chuck Berry doing the duck walk across stage, or Elvis Presley gyrating his hips, how offensive that was to clean cut America. And they said that, you know, it's raunchy music, it's not gonna last, it's just a fad. And this is what they said about rock and roll. But it was so rebellious for the young, for the youth to like really show out. And like, and it's like now you got Alan Freed taking it in gymnasiums because theaters don't want it. So he taking it in gymnasiums, and the young cast is coming out, you know, by the thousands to pack a gymnasium just to hear rock and roll, right? You know, this is what's going on. Then all of a sudden, when the war start, you got rock artists making anti-war songs. So they're using their voice, you know, to speak against war. Hip hop was following the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So when they said that it's just a fad, it ain't real music, I knew it was, I'm like, it's gonna be just as big or even bigger than rock and roll.
You know what's so beautiful about what's going on right now is you see Yankee Stadium sold out. You see Nas and Wu-Tang sold out. You see 50 Cent and Busta Rhymes sold out. You see you see Rock the Bells sold out. You see all of these festivals with these older people that sold out, elder statesmen rather.
Generational artists.
And I've been saying this for a long time. This is the reason why we invented Drink Chances, because we wanted to give our elder statesmen, people that have been around, you know, seasons, they flowers. And then when you see this, it's like, damn. When you, like I said this the other day, like when you want someone to cook Thanksgiving dinner, you don't want that 18-year-old girl that you just met. You don't want that 22-year-old girl. She don't know how to smother the chicken. She don't know how to make the candy yams bounce the way they're supposed to be shaken. She don't know how to do the stuffing. She don't know how to cook cornbread. You know how hard it is to cook cornbread? You gotta have experience.
Well put.
So when it comes to Thanksgiving dinner, you don't want that new young hot tamale.
No, I agree.
You want Nana. You want Nana. You want Papa helping her. You understand? And that's what life is, you young whippersnappers. You be over here talking about the OG. No, motherfucker, we're seasoned. We're seasons, and we out here, man. Look at Kane, looking like he ready to pimp right now. I love when Busta said that. He said, we gotta look the part, man. And that's one thing about you, man. You've been sharp since the 80s. You ain't never had a day off, man.
Appreciate you, baby.
Come on, goddamn. Make you know you
I will say this though, man. When it comes to people like myself and even your era, you know, I mean, I feel like we're cemented. And we have a solid fan base that's going to love and respect us like, you know, Charlie Wilson fans, you know, Ronald Isley fans. But we do need to connect with the youth so that they can gain stay power and they learn how to be artists. I don't think that we should leave them alone or look at it in the way of like, I'm packing shows, you not. I think that we need to work with them, you know what I'm saying, and try to help them, because it's like, we're not going to be here forever. Our music will, but we not. So when we're gone, what's going to be left? If they don't know what they're doing, then hip-hop can evaporate. Hip-hop can evaporate, so we got to give them the jewels. We got to teach them them and educate them and try to uplift them. And I think that that's something important for us to do as the, you know, the older generation, you know, to teach the youth, like, yo, this is how you perform. Yo, you don't need the vocals playing. Do it to an instrumental. You know what I'm saying? Don't just stand there in one spot. There's stage left and stage right. There's even front of the stage. Shake a motherfucker hand when he's looking at you. You know, stuff like that. You know, we have to give them game. You know, we need to do that because they are the future. But they're not going to be the future much longer if they can't sell out shows or sell streams or whatever, you know.
And you got to make sure the history continues to be told so it's not lost.
I mean, a lot of them know better, EFN, because you know why they know better? They wear Jordans. They don't wear Kyrie Irving.
I heard you say it, but that's not true.
No, that is true.
That's not knowing history because you wear something.
No, what I'm trying to say is when you sit down, they'll sit there and talk about a Michael Jordan game. Well, I'm wearing these Jordans because Jordan scored this amount. So if you know that amount, why don't you know about when Biggie Smalls did this? Why don't you know about when...
And a kid doesn't know who Kool Herc is.
Right.
That's the problem.
But they wearing the Jordans.
But that might not be their fault. It's our fault in the sense of generationally.
I agree with that.
There was a point in time, like I didn't grow up on Kool Herc. I was too young. But there was the music that I was listening to that was telling me, and I was like, hold up a second, I need to know this. These people that I'm listening to.
But you being the DJ, and you being loyal to the culture, you went and you searched Kool Herc, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what we were trying to say.
Before the internet times, I was literally digging in the.
But that's the problem, though. You know what I'm saying? Nobody nobody searches anything no more. Nobody studies nothing no more. They just Google shit. You know.
Right. But we're not giving reasons either. I feel like now Hip Hop 50, like you said, the positive side is. Younger kids might be like, yo, this is wild. Look at these packed stadiums. What is this all about? And they might start to gravitate to certain artists they wouldn't have normally gravitated to and then learn about the history indirectly. Like a Drink Champs, they might learn indirectly by the entertainment of it, say, oh, these people are wilding out. Right. And then, oh, wait, I'm learning something now.
Let me tell you something, man. The BET Awards, I was sitting in my seat.
The recent one that just passed?
Yeah, the one that just passed. I was sitting in my seat patiently waiting to see all the young cats perform. I wanted to see what type of energy they bring in. And then especially since, you know, you have people like myself, MC Light, Redman, Uncle Luke.
Yeah, Busta.
You know what I'm saying?
Too.
Well, I mean, Busta's still doing his thing.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? He's still going. But I mean, you know, you got all these, so I mean, it's like for them to look at and see.
Okay.
Right? So I wanted to see what they were going to do on stage. And the Migos and Lola Brooke, they did not let me down.
Wow.
I thought that Lola and the Migos gave amazing performances. Right. That's the type of shit I like to see.
And it was the first time you've seen the Migos together in a long time.
Yeah.
Since the passing.
Yeah, exactly. But with even with that being a factor, when it's time to get it on,
they still got it on. Yeah, they perform like a motherfucker.
Yeah, man, and it looked beautiful. And like to see Lola Brooke, like, you know, actually really spitting and then jumping back and dancing with her dancers and shit, man.
She was not playing with it.
Yeah, she went in. She went in. Like she was.
Don't play with it. Go ahead, Lola. Don't play with it. Boy, that's Brooklyn energy, right? She from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah. Now hold that.
Yo, let me tell you something. You could never take a Brooklyn dude out of being Brooklyn, man.
Hell no.
We learned that with special ed.
Yo, listen. We had special. But let's smoke about that for a second because Special gave us a different perspective on it. He was like that. He felt like that. I know we spoke about it earlier, but he felt like that. The Hip Hop 50 is more for corporations. It's not really for us. And I disagree, but I let him vent.
Right.
Like you just said, earlier, you was like, as long as, you know, the artist is getting paid, and this is something that we want to do. I don't think that Yankee Stadium was commercialized. I think Yankee Stadium is still in the goddamn.
Yeah, no, but it was, because I mean, here's how.
Okay.
Marley Marl, Cold Crush,
right.
All the pioneers,
right.
They went on like 12 noon.
Yeah, I was thinking they should have been the headliners.
No, not the headliners.
Up there though, up there.
But yeah, they should have like fit them in like in between, like, you know.
I kind of looked at the flyer wrong when they were at the bottom. I was looking at it as if it was the top to the bottom.
Like, you know, and then it's like this here. I understand that they don't have hit records, and the ones that did have hit records in the early 80s, a younger generation are not aware of that. Right. I get that. But still in all, though, if we really celebrating 50 years of hip-hop,
right,
then honor and respect those that created the platform for it to get here.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean, you know, Russell Simmons, Tyrone Williams, Andre Harrell, they did a great job. You know, Jay-Z, Suge Knight, Puffy, so many others did a great job, you know what I'm saying, as keeping it going and all that there. But honor and respect those that helped create this platform.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Sugar Hill Gang, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Cold Crush Brothers, make it where they can be seen. That's why that meant so much to me for Snoop to bring out Hollywood.
Yeah.
That meant the world.
I believe that was Russell Simmons pulling those strings too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh man. And let me ask you while we're on this subject, and especially while we're in the South. A lot of people one of the first things that we heard, especially living in Miami, was Uncle Luke's voice. Uncle Luke was like, he felt like, I don't believe he said the South. I believe he said Florida.
He said Florida, but there's different regions like the West. I'm hearing it.
Yeah, because now I'm seeing Jermaine Dupri saying the same thing. Like, and it bugged me out a little bit because I seen Jermaine Dupri happy backstage. Like he was back there. He was filming himself, and then when he went back home to Atlanta, he's basically like, that was a New York thing, and New York doesn't really recognize Atlanta. That's what Jermaine Dupri said. And then Luke pretty much said the same thing, but he identified it with Florida, correct? Right. When you hear things like that, what do you think? What does come?
Like that don't identify the South.
There wasn't enough representation of the whole country in terms of different people were repping their regions.
Yeah, I mean it probably wasn't. I mean, it's too many goddamn artists, man. Yeah. You know, for one night, you know, I mean, it's too many artists, man. I mean, it probably wasn't. Right. But, I mean, to me, that's only reason enough to do a hip-hop 50th in Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
Right.
You know,
in the South, in the West, right.
Yeah, you get Outkast together, you know, the Brat.
Yeah.
You know, so many, you know, even bring out what's my man name? I think he was like the first Southern, was it Shy D?
MC Shy D.
Yeah, Shy D, yeah. Uncle Luke, all them, bring them all out. CeeLo Green, Goody Mob, you know.
Yeah, like Poison King, Gucci Crew, all that.
Yeah, bring them out. Trick Daddy, Trina.
Right.
Bring them all out, you know.
Because Trina was on the show.
Yeah.
And so was Flo Rida and T.I.
Flo Rida was on it?
Yeah, I seen Public Enemy bring out Flo Rida.
Really?
Yeah, it was something. I don't know if it was Yankee Stadium, but he was there during that 50 hip hop week. Yeah.
See, with what MCing became, thanks to Melly Mel, was a way of ghetto expression, right? And there's more ghettos than New York.
Right.
Wow, that's weird.
You know, when we heard Straight Outta Compton and what NWA was talking about, you know, we got an experience of what the streets was like in L.A.
Vivid, right.
You know, when the Ghetto Boys came out, we had a chance to experience what the streets was like.
Houston.
And what do you call that? Is it Southwest?
Fifth Ward.
In the wards, right. In the wards, though.
Yeah, Yeah. I mean, like the region, what's that?
It's Houston.
Would that be considered Southwest?
No,
No, this is South. Yeah. They still consider it South.
Yeah. Okay. Right. But yeah, you got to experience that, you know? I mean, even with Eminem.
Right.
Because not only
Who's on your documentary as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Not only is that Detroit hood, but it's not our hood.
Right. Oh, the 8 Mile, yeah.
No, he talking trailer park shit.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you get to hear about a white hood. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, other than Roseanne, I don't know nothing about no trailer park stuff. Right. That's the most I you know what I'm saying? But Eminem gave us like what it was like in his hood growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like it's the way what ghetto expression can be, man, is beautiful, man. You know. So I mean, it's out there in all types of different regions, man. You know. So I mean. You don't have to just end the Yankee Stadium. The year's still young.
And it should.
Shit. Throw something in Atlanta. Throw something in Detroit. Throw something in L.A.
But
you know?
That was one of the things that I noticed about your documentary, sorry to bounce around, was that you had Eminem in the documentary for those that haven't seen the trailer yet. And, you know, this is one of them unicorn guys, right? This is a guy like no one could get Eminem, right? Was it hard for you to reach Eminem, or this was something that, you know, because I know he's a real hip-hop fan, so.
Showed love when we reached out. He said yeah.
Wow.
When well, no, let me not say that, but but he showed love. Mm-hmm. He showed love, and he made it where. Let me see. Let me word it this way. Okay. He made it where we wouldn't have no problems, and it was okay with using his likeness and all this. Like he showed love and showed up with a Big Daddy Kane shirt on to do the interview.
Wow, God damn it!
And the craziest thing is, he told me stuff about myself that I never even thought about. Because I mean, you as an MC, you writing.
Yes.
But it's like, you're not sitting there thinking like, I gotta add something that does this. I gotta add something. You just writing what comes to mind.
Right.
So that's what I'm doing. And he pointed out stuff that I did, and I'm sitting there listening and talking, and I'm the whole time looking at him, but in my mind, I'm like, for real? I did that?
Right.
Oh, shit. Now I'm sitting there, and then we finished. I had to go back and listen to records from the mid '80s, early '80s. There had to be someone that did this before me. Damn.
Wow.
I never thought about that. He said some deep stuff, man. He said some real deep stuff.
Yeah, he's a student of the game for sure.
Nah, I love that fact. Yeah. I love the fact that when it comes to the OGs, he always, you know what I mean? I mean, didn't he accept the award?
And he listed off.
Yeah.
Mad people, almost everybody.
But him and Melly Mel went at it recently. You couldn't call Melly Mel and say, relax.
Me and Mel actually did talk. See, the thing that a lot of people don't understand is I have a perspective on hip hop because of the way I understood it.
Right.
First time I heard hip hop was '77. I have a perspective, from what I learned from that point. Whenever it was that you heard it, there's perspectives that we all have.
Right.
Melly Mel has a perspective from the origin.
Okay.
Right. And a lot of those cats feel that when it went to record, hip-hop was ruined at that point. The purest form of hip-hop was ruined as soon as it went to record, when it became an official music genre.
Right. When it became a business?
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that.
With Sugar Hill Gang, I would assume that was the first time they felt that way.
It's possible. But I mean, it's I would assume maybe a year or so later, because it's now you're seeing the effects. You're seeing what's happening to what y'all created and what y'all been doing.
Right.
How now it's going a different direction and how it's being driven. So it's you have to understand his bitterness.
Right.
Because it's not about hate. It's about, what happened to his baby.
Right.
Right. You can't dismiss that.
Herc has that as well. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So it's what happened to their baby.
Right.
So I mean, it's I respect their anger, but at the same time, I try to, in a diplomatic way, just build with the brother and say, listen, man, it ain't worth, this,
Yeah, because at one point it felt like Melly Mel had a problem with everybody in hip hop.
Oh, he does. Mel cursed my ass out one night.
No way.
Mel jumped up over me, kicked the fucking ottoman. It was like, motherfucker, you wasn't there. You was a baby when this shit started. You wasn't there.
Wait, what was he talking about?
Yeah, he got pissed at me. He was out. I ain't gonna bring it up, man. I ain't gonna bring it up.
But so it's not just a couple of us; it's everyone. Mel.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if Eminem can relax, if Eminem can be like, all right, cool, Mel.
Yeah, I mean that's just Mel. That's just Mel, man. I mean, it's the bottom line is this, man. Whether he right or wrong, I feel like myself, you, Eminem, and so many others wouldn't have been here or wouldn't have been gifted at this if it wasn't for Mel.
Right.
Let's make some noise.
Right. Yeah.
Use the bathroom real quick.
Now, let me ask you, in the same vein of all this, what do you think? What's your perspective on the state of MCing today?
I think that there are a lot of dope MCs out there. You just have to find them.
Right.
I think that there's a lot of dope MCs out there. You just have to find them. Right now, because of what radio does, they focus on a certain kind of music.
Right.
And because of that, that's what's put to the forefront. And that's all you think about. So you're not thinking about, who's lyrical. And then the other thing, and I'm going to say this to all my lyrical MCs, with the exception of Lady London. She's not included. Here's why. As a lyrical MC, I think that it's very important for you to look the part as well. Look fly so that people, if they're not paying attention to what you say, they're paying attention to how you look.
Right, the package.
And then they gravitate to the lyrics, But there are a lot of lyrical MCs. You just have to find them. But at this point in time, what's more important really is like, a catchy tune.
Right. And I'll add, you said the look, but also the production, because you'll have an incredible lyrical MC that doesn't pick good production to put those lyrics to.
Well, it's not he don't pick good production, it's that he doesn't pick commercial production. Right. Most lyrical MCs like boom bap.
Right.
And that's not what's really selling or what's playing on the radio. But you do have lyrical MCs that, rhyme over the that modern style production, like J. Cole.
Yeah, J. Cole got him in the documentary as well.
Yeah, he kills it. And Kendrick.
J. Cole is my favorite MC of this era. Shout out to Conway the Machine. I love him to death. Benny the Butcher.
Carrying the flag.
Vince Staples out there.
But J. Cole?
Yeah.
J. Cole, oh man.
Yeah.
Like he's a problem.
To me, Cole and Kendrick, they're tied to me.
I love Kendrick, but you got to understand, Cole said, no Cosby shit, but if they sleeping on me, fuck them.
Shit, I didn't even catch that. Wait, I didn't even catch that. Wait, no Cosby shit, but they sleeping on them, fuck them.
No Cosby shit, but if they sleeping on me, fuck them.
Right.
There's a lot of layers to that little piece.
I'll leave that right there.
Where did he say that at?
I'll leave that right there.
It took me a minute.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, go ahead.
Whenever y'all want to come back to this conversation,
That shit is good.
That's real.
Yeah, no, fuck that. Yeah, no. For J. Cole. Now, while we're on this subject matter,
Go.
as I said, I'm speaking about everyone except Lady London. The reason why I say that is because Lady London, she does look the part. She stay fly from head to toe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And her bars
She's dope.
are ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Right.
And not only that, she don't be half naked. Not saying anything negative about the women that do. I'm just saying that, she don't rely on that. She rely on her beauty and her lyrics, mainly her lyrics.
Yeah.
And Lady London, she said, I go on a date just for a date just. I'll let that sit there for a while. Catch up. Take your time.
Yeah, the what?
Take your time. For Lady London.
Oh, man.
That was just so dope. That was
And whoever didn't get that, somebody please explain it to me.
I guarantee you, right? Look, he fell out the lyric was so hard.
Matter of fact, let me explain for those that don't understand.
Yeah.
I go on a date just for a date just. Date just is a Rolex.
The Rolex, yes.
That's a kind of Rolex.
Yes.
So she's saying, I go on a date just for a dude to buy me a Rolex.
Come on, goddamn. Come on, goddamn.
Don't play with that girl.
Don't play with that girl, goddamn. Yeah. Holy moly, fucking moly. Okay, quick time for slide?
Let's do it.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We got
Yeah. Well, Kane, Big Daddy Kane, my brother, let me just tell you something. Our show is about giving people their flowers. We will always wanted to have this show to salute our OGs, the people that made this life possible for us to live the life that we live. And we want to give you face to face your flowers. To your face. Snoop Dogg said it's like a Grammy because it comes from your own people. And let's goddamn. Yeah.
And it's an honor that we have you back, alumni.
Yes.
I like that.
And by the way, he always drinks some exclusive shit.
Oh, yeah.
He always drinks some exclusive shit. Let me just tell you something, y'all young whippersnappers. He is an OG to the purest. I'm talking about everything about him is motherfucking impeccable. God damn it. Let's go. Come on. All right, you want to explain them? Quick time aside?
Yeah, we're going to give you 2 choices. If you pick one, nobody's drinking. This is a drinking game, by the way.
Okay.
So if you pick one, nobody's drinking. If you say both or neither, we all drink.
Okay.
I mean, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he can do it.
If he wants to sip it, it's fine.
Yeah, that's okay. You can do it.
Now, what's the answer if someone has?
If I'm saying we're gonna give you 2 choices.
Right.
If you pick one, that's it. We just go on to the next one.
Okay.
Right.
But if you say both, like you say, well, I'm picking both,
Right.
or I'm picking neither of them, then we're drinking.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
So you get 2 shots.
No.
The wine? Yeah. Let's keep it with the
Thank
wine.
you.
That's right. Okay. Tupac or DMX?
In what way?
It's whatever
way.
the
Whatever
criteria in your
you
mind.
want.
You- And you can explain it or you don't have to explain.
Yeah. It's all up to you.
If we talking artists, Tupac. If we're talking lyricist, X.
That sounds like a drink to me.
Sounds like both.
Sounds like both.
I think we have a lot of both in here.
Okay. All right. I like this one. Primo or Large Pro?
I would have to say, I would have to say, I would have to say Primo.
Okay.
I would have to say Primo.
Okay. Kid Capri or DJ Scratch?
You ain't putting me in that shit.
That was a good one.
No, man, I'll say it like this here. Rock a Party, Kid Capri.
Okay.
DJ Battle, Scratch.
That sounds like a drink to me. That sounds like both. Because that was the big debate that night at the Versus, right?
Yeah, I kind of take blame for that, man.
Okay, let's explain. I can see your face. Like your face just changed.
Nah, because like when I told you earlier.
Well, Rakim. Kid Capri said he's going to
He said he didn't want to do it.
Okay.
But then when they got KRS to do it,
He got on some Bronx shit.
he agreed to do it with KRS.
He got on some Bronx shit. Okay.
So then when Charlie Mack said, yo, we want you to use DJ Scratch.
Okay.
I said, okay, fine. And then I called Scratch and I was like, yo,
let's get on some bullshit.
Tear his ass up. I was like, tear his ass up. You know? But I didn't know that, they had a little something going
I didn't know
on.
either.
And when Scratch did the sucker DJ thing, I was like, nah. Because it's like, I came with bars ready.
Right.
And I spit some simple shit, hoping that Chris was going to,
bite off of it.
come, but he didn't. But I mean, even with what I had locked and loaded, I wasn't gonna call him no sucker MC or nothing degrading. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother. It's like I would have spit some battle rounds, but I'm not gonna do. I love him. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't. I love Kid Capri, so I don't want you. Don't call him a sucker DJ.
It was a gentleman's challenge, gentleman's fight.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't take it that way. As me watching it, I really did take it as a DJ type of thing. But when Capri didn't indulge back, that's when I was like, oh, maybe this wasn't right.
Doc, I mean, it was like, it was like at that moment when Scratch, I said, you know what? I forgot who the fuck I was talking to, man. I'm like, this is what the shit Scratch was waiting
at
for.
him. He was going. Scratch was
this was just me being upset with Capri. So now you can do it. Okay, Scratch, tear his ass up, man. But I forgot who I was dealing with. That was my fault, man. Pooch, I'm sorry, brother.
Okay.
I'm sorry, brother.
Okay. KRS-One or Rakim?
Once again, it depends. It's like
we're gonna get a lot of it depends.
On a song, Rakim.
Okay.
In a battle, KRS.
Okay. Yeah, sounds like both.
both.
Yeah.
Why you all in our business? I was trying to avoid this drink.
I get the next one. Okay.
Good one, by the way.
All right. Guru or Big L? Rest in peace to both.
I mean, these brothers, they're not here no more. I don't want to do that one.
Yes, we're gonna drink for that.
So we drinking, so that's both.
Yeah. That sounds like both. You want the next one too? Because didn't Mr. C bring Biggie to your crib?
No.
Okay.
Mr. C let me hear him.
Oh, okay.
Like he did a thing in his house with Biggie rhyming over the Blind Alley beat that I used for No Half Stepping.
Okay.
And he let me hear it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like C used to be like, yo, you don't hear it? I'm like, because C thought that we sounded similar. And I'm like, I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't hear it.
I can see Kane in Big. I can see it.
I didn't see it though.
Oh, I could. Okay.
No, but eventually I did.
Okay.
Like I think when Party and Bullshit came out, he was like, I was like,
oh, you talking about prior to that? Oh,
no, I'm even then. I was still telling C, I don't see it.
Wow.
Then the One More Chance remix came out, and I called C. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Yeah, I see it. I'm like, yo, he killed that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Tribe Called Quest or De La Soul?
I'll pour up.
That's a tough one, man, because like Mace is my dude, like my brother.
Right.
But I probably listen to more. And then what you call it? Dave was such a dope MC too.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, Dave was such a dope MC. But I don't know, man. Cause I probably listen to more Tribe records.
Right.
I probably listen to more Tribe records.
And big up Dave and Tribe De La Soul because they recently got their masters back. Is that something that you have your masters as well?
I'm in the process now.
Okay, yeah, that's what all the OGs is saying. Okay, next one.
DJ Hollywood or Kool Herc? I feel like you kind of already.
Well, I mean, naturally, I would have to pick Hollywood because I'm an MC.
Right.
Like I would expect the DJ would pick Herc.
Right.
I'm an MC, so I mean, I feel like he birthed me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I would have to pick Hollywood just for that reason.
Right.
Go. Next one.
Latifah or MC Light? Queen Latifah.
Drink.
And we need both of them on Drink Champs,
Yes.
man. We've been asking for years.
Yeah.
Okay. Marley Marl or Pete Rock?
I would have to go with Marley.
Okay.
For the simple fact that there would be no Pete Rock,
Right.
Primo, Large Professor, Just Blaze, none of them if it wasn't for Marley.
Right.
Respect that.
That's who, brought that sample. Like, I think Curtis Blow is the first person to use a sample, but it's just percussions from a Trouble Funk record.
Right.
The person that really made sampling the way of hip-hop production is Marley, so I gotta go with Marley.
God damn it. Latin Quarters or The Fever?
Latin Quarters.
Yeah, I'm going-
I was too young for the Fever.
Okay.
Like right now, like Sal from the Fever.
Yeah.
He would be like, "Yo, man, I need you to do this here show for me, but I got like 10 grand. Come on, man, it's me, Sally Sal, Kane. It's me, Sally Sal. Like, y'all was fucking 12, man. I wasn't in the Fever. I don't owe you nothing, man. I'm fucking 12 years old, Sal. Come on, man. Don't do. But I love Sal, man. I love Sal, man. Matter of fact, man, it's like if I'm correct, I believe that's the first hip hop club, right?
Latin Quarters?
No, the Fever.
Oh, The Fever. Oh, I'm not sure on that.
The Fever was like what, 78, 77? Because Fever's before Harlem World, right? Y'all don't know.
None of us know.
I will
I think all of us
figure
are
it out.
way too young.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if I'm right, then Sal, you deserve this.
Right. Okay. Sam Cooke or Ray Charles?
Sam Cooke. I think Ray Charles, I think he's the first one to take gospel chords and sing love music over it.
Right.
But Sam Cooke perfected it. He put a much more sexier voice to it and perfected the way it was done. Yeah.
Okay. Run DMC or EPMD? Yeah, you want Lord Finesse or OC?
Well, I would say Lord Finesse. I think that Lord Finesse is a great lyricist, man.
Yeah. He's
great lyricist, man, and also he's responsible for a lot of other people having careers.
Absolutely, DITC everywhere. Flat top or Gumby?
You fucking serious?
Those are these guys.
Go on, man. I mean, as much as I love my man Bobby, man, come on, man. Who flat top rules today?
Jimi Hendrix or Santana?
I love Santana, man, but I gotta go with Jimmy just for the simple fact of, like, you know, the blues stuff that he did. The way he would make his rock guitar talk on a blues song.
And he was
just
self-taught, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's what I think somebody told us here on Drink Champ.
Think so.
He taught himself. It was George Clinton that told us that?
Yep. Master Ace or Special Ed?
Ace's Juice Crew, man.
I know. There you go. That says it all. That says it all. That says it all. Okay.
I know he's gonna be like,
Fat Joe or Rick Ross?
It's like I kind of want to lean towards Rick Ross since he the dark-skinned chubby dude. But, you know, Joe, my dude, man. Joe, my dude, that's always showed me love, man. Joe, my dude, man.
Okay. So we're going to let that one slide. Ice Cube or Scarface?
That's a hard one there, man. That's a real hard one. And that's a good one.
Yeah.
Like, that actually would have been a great versus.
Yeah.
That would be an amazing.
That would have been a great versus.
Wow.
That's a hard one. I don't know.
So it's both.
Because it's like, you know, Scarface, I think, is the better storyteller, but oh man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, because like Cube got some joints, man.
Yeah, and he write movies.
Well, that ain't got nothing to do with hip hop.
I'm just trying to help you out.
I mean, I don't know.
Going back to NWA, Cube, it's just...
Yeah, Cube, man. Like I remember when I heard Bitch is a Bitch. From that song alone, I was like, this dude gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
So we saying both?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's even. Lola Brooke or Lady London?
Lady London.
Okay. Video Music Box or Yo MTV?
Matter of fact, come back. Ask me that question again.
Lola Brooke or Lady London?
London.
Okay.
I mean, no, listen. Lola Brooke, I'm going to be honest with you. I really would love to link up with her and work with her.
Right.
Because what I saw at the BET Awards, I'm a fan.
Yeah, she goes all out.
But Lady London, like, I would love to actually be in a studio with male artists when Lady London walk in. I got a funny feeling that I'm going to see something I've seen before. And, like, back when I used to DJ for Shantae, I used to see Shantae come in dressing rooms and male artists turn around to avoid smoke. Like known, established male artists that had hit records would turn their back to avoid making eye contact with Roxanne Shantae, scared to death of a little 16-year-old girl.
Wow.
Yeah.
We can't let it go unnoticed. He said when he used to DJ for Shantae.
Yes, I caught that. I caught that. That was hard. Okay. Video Music Box or Yo MTV Raps?
Video Music Box. Video Music Box.
Big up to Ralph McDaniels. Mobb Deep or MOP?
I mean, I love both, but you know, MOP, that's that Brooklyn shit, man. That's that Brooklyn shit. And ain't nothing like hearing, you know, Slap and Dance scream they fucking lungs out on a song, man. Ain't nothing like that,
a lot of energy there.
Yeah, that energy is just something else.
We need MOP on here too.
Yeah.
Scoop or scrap?
Those my brothers, man.
Drink to that?
Yeah,
Drink to
my
that.
brothers. You mean Scoob and Scrap?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said scoop or
you said
scrap.
scoop.
He said Scoob or Scrap.
Yeah.
I said you mean Scoob and Scrap.
That's right.
I look at them as one, man.
Put them
Right.
both together.
Yeah.
Y'all did this because of my shirt, bro?
What? Oh yeah. Self-destruction or all in the same gang?
I mean, I'm gonna say both, man, because they both served a beautiful cause.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's
They
right.
both served a beautiful cause.
It was a great movement, man. Take the next one.
Go ahead.
Michael or Prince?
It's like as multi-talented as Prince was. I don't think that, you know, we're ever gonna see another artist like Michael Jackson, man.
So you saying Mike will smoke Prince in the verses?
In the verses?
Yeah.
Okay, a versus where? On stage?
Yeah. In Kingston, Jamaica.
No.
I don't know why I thought of that.
No.
Mike
No.
against Prince.
In the verses, I mean, because you got to understand, Prince played numerous instruments.
Right.
Prince's vocal range was ridiculous. You know, ridiculous.
Right.
You know, so I mean, and he could dance, but he couldn't dance like Mike. He can't dance like Mike. Mike is, you know, the better performer though.
Yeah.
Mike is the better performer. You know, so in a verses, it's hard to say because if Prince is strategic, he could get the edge. But if he's not, Mike could tear him apart. But I mean, overall, just it's like I think that Michael Jackson is the biggest artist ever. I don't think we're gonna ever see another Michael Jackson.
You met Michael Jackson?
No.
Prince?
I had the opportunity, but it was just so many people crowded around, and I just was like, I'm good.
All right.
Prince, yes, I have met Prince.
Okay, where was y'all at?
We was at Warner Brothers in Mo Austin office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he purple?
Was he purple?
Nah, if I'm correct, I think he had some white shit on. Yeah, I think he had some white shit on. But he was, you know, sitting down at Mo Austin desk.
Right.
You know, yeah.
Say hi, Big Daddy Kane. Like,
Nah. He was like, what can I?
You sound like Michael. You sound like Michael.
I'm sorry.
Nah, he was like, how may I help you out today? Like acting like he was Mo Austin. He was playing around, acting like he was Mo Austin. Yeah.
And you like, nigga, this is Prince. I know who you are.
Yeah. No, I was like shocked. You know, like, oh shit, this is Prince. You know.
Wow.
Remember, Prince had a deep voice.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the truth?
That's why I say you sound like Michael Jackson.
Oh,
he actually had a deep. No, Prince had a deep
in my
voice.
mind, I thought his shit and Michael was the same.
Nah. Prince voice. is
Imagine
okay.
we would have had both of them still around to this day.
I would love to see that.
That would have been crazy.
We did NWA?
No.
NWA or Public Enemy?
I'm not playing with y'all. I mean, this ain't my thing. You know, honestly, I don't. You know, I'm like uncomfortable with putting artists against each other.
Right.
That's something I
Yeah, it's
never
not
really.
against each other.
I know we playing. I know we playing, but I mean, that's just something I just ain't really.
I
ain't
respect
really
that.
into.
All right, this one, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. Digital or analog?
Analog.
Analog, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's so the capabilities are endless with digital.
Right.
But that feel of analog, man,
Yeah.
that
Us being in a
warm
room together.
feel, that hiss. I mean, just the tape alone create a hum noise that fills up the track. You know what I mean? It's just
Like it records the energy in the room.
Yeah, show you right. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So this last one.
No, say the movie one. I think the movie one's fair for him.
All right, go ahead. You do it.
New Jack City or Juice?
That's interesting. Oh man. You know what? I think I might say. Juice. I think I might say Juice. I mean, my reason is because Juice felt real New York.
Right.
You know, I didn't know any drug dealers that act like Nino in the 80s. Like all the drug dealers I knew in the 80s, they didn't act like my Wesley played the Nino character.
Right. New Jack City, right.
Yeah.
And you got a song on the Juice soundtrack. That's an amazing song.
Yeah, I do.
It's an amazing song. Yeah.
Thank you.
Last one, and then we're gonna go back to the interview. Loyalty or respect?
Loyalty or respect? Can I get them both?
Of course.
That's the time we always
Drink your killer coffee.
Yeah. I'm drinking killer coffee. Goddamn. That's the time when we always say we should say both. You know what I mean? Because I think one goes hand in hand. You think that?
Absolutely.
So let me ask you, because this is something I always wanted to know. When I first, came in and to knowledge with the 5% Nation, one of the things that they said was astaghfirullah, you cannot have, was Jello, right?
The food Jello?
Yes. And then Biz Markie says, Daddy Kane, my mic, my mellow, get on the mic because you eat Jello. I always wanted to ask you. Like, wait a minute. I always wanted to ask, like, wait a minute.
I mean, nobody take Biz serious. I mean, he was just making something rhyme with Mello. That was the first fucking thing I just he could make rhyme with Mello, you know?
So no one never said, hey, Gar.
Nah. Like.
It's because it has pork in it.
Yeah.
It has pork.
Nah,
through the coloring.
Too. Nah, the guards was pissed at me about the Madonna book, but never about the Jello shit.
Oh, the Madonna book?
Yeah.
When you was finger popping.
He said yes immediately.
You know what's crazy? That was a different time.
That must have been a crazy time.
But did you only receive backlash from the guards, or was that
No.
Okay,
from everybody.
Okay,
from everybody.
Right.
But I mean, but I mean, like there was like a lot of guards. Like, hey, yo, God, man, we need to have a bill, man. I need to, know the science behind that, man. But I mean, at that point in time, man, those that really understand, the culture of Islam, know that there are white Muslims.
Right.
Dr.
Umar does not approve?
And they don't, he probably wouldn't. But they don't identify as white, nor do the black ones identify as black. They all identify as Muslim.
Right.
Right, so, with that understood, I mean, I'm not gonna, be against Madonna because, or anybody because they're white.
Yeah, but it's true. Like, once she went Kane, she still remains.
He'll drink to that.
How crazy.
Oh man, yeah. So I know we covered this the last time, but that Naomi Campbell, the photo shoot, what was that for? Calvin Klein? What was that?
No, that was the Madonna book.
That was the same thing. Yeah. Okay. You was outside, man. You was outside, man. I ain't gonna lie, brother. Yes, greatest. Yes, because
I don't know. There's a cartoon. There's a cartoon where someone like redid the photo with the characters from the cartoon.
Right.
I don't know what cartoon it is, but that's what I was like. Yeah, I'm like, I need that on a T-shirt. Right. But it's a known cartoon, but they did it like with the one in the water with me, Naomi, and Madonna.
Right.
I was like, oh, I need that on a T-shirt.
Right. Because you know, like again, you've paved the way for like, you know, these big hit records, these big moments in hip hop, right? Because I remember it seemed like there was nothing bigger than Big Daddy Kane. Like I remember, like my whole childhood, like I said, my flat top wasn't correct. Like I was, you know, I was trying to get my flat top right. I was trying to get, and then I remember there was one point, I believe it was like when I Get the Job Done record came out. And people was like, man, we lost Kane. Like Kane is into
it
this,
transcended hip hop.
yeah, into this whole nother world. Like they was like that. I believe they was using commercial at the time. Was that something that you received a backlash for? Like I know we spoke about the.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, a whole lot of it. A whole lot of it.
Was it the record or was it the video?
I think the record.
Okay.
But I mean, there was several songs, you know. But let me ask you this. In hip hop today,
right? I'm ready.
How many songs do you hear that sound commercial?
Yes.
How many songs do you hear that have singing on them?
Right.
And how many songs do you hear on the radio that sound like boom bap?
Not a lot.
See, me as a student of hip hop, one thing I've always understood is that hip hop musically has no origin.
Right.
Grandmaster Caz said it best. Hip hop didn't invent anything, it reinvented everything.
Yes.
Musically, it has no origin because what Herc was doing was taking other people's music and bringing the breakbeat part back, playing that, other people's music. And that's what rappers rhyme to. That's what B-boys dance to, right? Even the human beatbox. When they started out, they was doing beatboxing, the breaks from records.
Yeah.
Right.
There was other people's music.
Right.
Right.
And those records were what? Impeach the President by Royal C. Soul song, soul music. Not hip hop, soul music. Good Times by Chic. Disco.
James Brown.
James Brown. Funk. Rocket in the Pocket by Cerrone. Techno. Or electronic, or whichever one you want to use.
Right.
Big Beat by Billy Squier. Rock and roll. You see what I'm saying? Nautilus by Bob James. Jazz. So all of those elements always been a part of hip hop.
Right.
And that's all I was doing was incorporating elements that already been a part of hip hop.
Right.
You know?
Do you think that because like you said, like there's so many hooks, like if you look at Ja Rule, there's so many things that, do you think that was the invention of like people thinking that this is the way to go? Like the commercial route? Matter of fact, let me rephrase that question. Was that more of a record label thing, or was that a Kane thing when you were saying, let me go that route?
That was a Kane thing when I was doing it.
Okay.
I wanted to explore different things and try to open the mind frame of my fan base, you know, to see a bigger picture. That's what I was really trying to do.
Right.
I just was a little too early with it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Had I waited till like 1994 and did it on Bad Boy Records, I'd have been a bad motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No, because I mean, Puff saw the vision. Puff, you know, you know, I love and respect Puff for that. Like he, like clearly he must have told Big, like, don't know, go ahead, kick all your gangster shit, but do it on this beat right here.
Right.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what's the crazy thing about Notorious Big. If you look at all of his lyrics, some shit is hard as hell.
Yeah.
But he, like you said, Puff kind of like put soft beats under it, and you kind of like don't see it.
Well, I mean, I'm not even gonna call it soft beats because I mean, shit, we used to lose.
Samples.
Hear me out. We used to lose our mind in the club when Juicy Fruit came on.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't call it a soft song
Yeah.
because that shit used to bang in the club.
Right.
Juicy Fruit, you know?
Right.
Used to bang in the club.
And your era too. On the other side, you had Hammer pushing that envelope of going commercial and catching a lot of flack as well.
But I mean, he was a commercial artist. But I mean, I don't see I honestly don't see what the problem is. Like, I don't have a problem with Hammer music. I didn't have a problem with Fresh Prince music. I mean, because it was hip hop from a commercial standpoint. You know, everything don't need to be thugged out.
Right.
We got artists, you know, like, okay, for example, what if Will Smith would have put out some gangster stuff in the 80s? And some real live street dudes would have tried him.
Right.
It wouldn't have been summertime.
Really
you know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, you know, he did what was right for him, and the bars was right. Like lyrically, he was spitting. I thought it was dope.
Right.
It was commercial, but it was dope. And he was coming from a different perspective. I don't see what the problem was.
Right.
You know, but I mean, you know, it's like, you know, people just love to find something wrong with everything, man.
Right.
Everything.
How about Vanilla Ice? How you feel about him?
Same thing with Vanilla Ice. I don't think that, you know, that the music was bad. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with him making commercial hip hop. You know,
Right.
I think that some of the things that he said in interviews was bad.
Okay.
You know, it's like you know
Where he was from, discrepancies where he was from.
Yeah, all types of stuff. And he invented the yep and all this here other stuff, and it was like, you know, just be this successful hip hop artist, you know, that's winning in the commercial market. Just be him, you know. I think that would have worked so much better for him, you know. It's just the backlash, I think, got the better of him. Because, I mean, you look at like Eminem.
Right.
He never tried to be black.
Right.
He never tried to be black. And he talking hood shit, but it's his hood, trailer park.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But even though there was a lot of people that, you know, wanted to hate on him, you couldn't.
Because he was himself.
Yeah, because it's like there's nothing that's backing what you're saying.
Right.
Because he's not trying to be black. In fact, he's employing a whole bunch of black people, you know, on the label and working for the label. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it's like he didn't go through what Vanilla Ice went through.
Right. And he was lyrically respected through underground. Remember?
Well, that played a heavy part too.
I mean, he paid his dues.
What's
like
the people from New Jersey?
yeah.
I forgot. Outsiders?
Yeah, The Outsiders.
The Outsiders, yeah.
Young Steve,
I mean, being nice as fuck on the mic too played a major part too.
Right.
But it boils down to authenticity is what you're saying. Like, I think that's one of the pillars of hip hop that is important. Like, if you're truly authentically who you are, that'll shine through and get you through a lot of shit.
What's Everlast? What was their group? I thought that they was called
Everlast, yeah.
House of Pain.
House of Pain, yeah.
Everlast, he was down with Rhyme Syndicate with Ice-T and them.
Right.
And then he did House of Pain.
Yeah.
I would think Insane Clown Posse is authentic.
To what they do and to where they're from.
Yeah, for real.
Like even Beastie Boys.
Absolutely.
You know, because these is punk rockers turned hip hop, and I mean, it's like their songs are more punk rock vibe.
Right.
You know, I mean, the way they spitting and stuff, you know. So, I mean...
And coming out of a...
And they got no sleep till Brooklyn.
No, but coming out of an era where punk rock and hip hop were kind of together.
Yeah, absolutely. Like 77 to 79 was really like where punk rock and hip hop came into the forefront.
Let's Walk This Way?
No, that's rock.
Okay.
Nah, I'm talking like Deborah Harry, the Ramones.
The Ramones from Queens.
Yeah, Deborah Harry. Yeah. Like they like, you know, like that whole punk, because what was happening was like you had people like Fab Five Freddy.
Right. He was going to the white parties.
Russell Simmons, Andre
the artists
Harrell.
at the time, Basquiat and all that whole...
but they're hanging out at CBGB's for the punk rock parties, and then they're taking all these here punk rock cats uptown to Harlem World for a hip hop party.
Right.
So it's like this, they're meshing. Because
That's where the spikes come from, right? The spikes?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, no, it's a possibility. I mean, then again, you know, that could have just been some, I don't know. That could have been some Bronx shit. I don't know. I don't know.
I think it came from the disco. Yeah. Who told us that? I think
we've heard different things. I know Africa Bambaataa and all them were the first adopters of that look.
Yeah. That's who you need to ask, like Bambaataa or Mel or Flash.
Right, Mel. We definitely need Melly Mel over here for sure.
Yes.
If y'all bring Mel, I want to come back. I just want to sit over there.
Nah, we need to. It would be amazing to have Melly Mel on.
I'm gonna be in that corner just like Derek D. Dot. I'm be like, tell him why you mad, son. Tell him why you mad.
Oh my God, Melly Mel. So let's talk about Set It Off, man. How did that session? How did that record come about?
Set It Off. Me and Biz went to Mark 45 King crib.
45 King.
Yeah. And he played this beat that he had for Biz.
We're taking all Biz beats.
And Biz didn't like it. So I told Mark, I was like, yo, if it's okay with you, I'll use it. And he said, yeah, you can have it.
Okay.
I said, but can it go a little faster? So he tried to speed up a little bit, and I was like, no. I meant faster, like if it's 33, can you play it on 45? And he said, funny you say that. He took the disc out and loaded up another disc. And this disc, it was playing. He was like, that's the actual speed. He said, I slowed it down for Biz because I know he don't like fast beats. But this is the actual speed. I was like, I'll take it. And then he told me, yeah, I already submitted it for a Public Enemy remix. I can't remember whether it was Bring the Noise or Night of Living Basshead, but he had submitted it for a Public Enemy remix. So he told me I couldn't have it. So, Biz stayed on top of him until finally, I don't know whether they turned it down. I don't know if Def Jam turned it down or whatever the case may be, but Biz stayed on top of him until I could get it.
On your behalf, Biz stayed on top of him?
Yeah.
That's great.
Biz stayed on top of Mark 45 until I can get the beat. Wow. And then Biz, called me, yeah. And then he gave me the beat. And when I was sitting there, I'm like, I'm like, I don't really want to rhyme over that. I think we should say that for the hook. And then I put this James Brown shit in the I put that in there. And then and that's how we did it. And it was like I had something in mind already, because it was like I had heard Sex Machine from James Brown. And I'm listening, he like, we're gonna do it moving, grooving, can I count it off? I'm like, I need something like that. Where like the energy is there before the beat drop. But I got to figure out a way to do it hip hop wise. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Just start the rhyme off a cappella and then let the beat come in. So that's why the Let It Roll, Get Bold, I just can't let that, and then then I just thought, because I was trying to like do what James did with Sex Machine.
Yeah, make some noise for that, goddamn. Let's go to Warm It Up, Kane.
Warm it up?
Yeah.
Warm it up. Biz once again, man. Kool V called me one day. Kool V called me on the phone. Kool V is Biz DJ, for those that don't know. He called me on the phone one day and he was like, yo, I got this joint for you. This shit crazy. And it's perfect for you. I'm like, oh, okay, what's happening? He was like, nah, it's one of them up-tempo joints. Biz was going to use it, and before he could say anything else, you hear Biz in the background, it's so goddamn fast. So V was like, but yo, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to write this here shit for me, boom, boom, boom. So he asked me to write this verse for him, and, then they gave me the beat. But yeah, that's another joint that came from Biz. Just like Half Steppin'.
That's crazy.
But you know what's crazy? And I'm jumping off subject, but still on subject a little bit. I hear you saying this so much. Like, why was Biz so much of a respected MC? And like you blatantly like wrote his rhymes, and like he had help, but no one looks at Biz like a person that wasn't an MC. Like everyone looks at him like a respectable person, but nowadays, if someone was to get help on their pen, they don't look at him like a real MC.
Because it's like when it comes to MCing, you know, you have lyricists and you have party rockers. You know, I'm a lyricist. Rakim is a lyricist.
Right.
KRS, G Rap, you know, lyricist.
Right.
Then, you know, you got party rockers. Biz, Dougie Fresh,
Right.
Busy B,
Right.
you know, DJ Hollywood.
Right.
So it's like, with cats like that, if someone write their rhymes,
Right.
you don't trip on that.
Right.
Because it's like, their job is to rock the party. And when they come, they do their job. With us, we're lyricists. Our job is to be lyricists. If someone else writing our shit, then we ain't really lyricists.
Right. Right.
You know?
Real talk.
Yeah.
I want to again shout out Kool V and he has a show with Roxanne Shante.
Oh, that's right.
On Rock the Bells.
On Rock the Bells. That's right.
Check it out.
Big them up. I want to let you invite us on. Let's go to RAW. Raw.
Raw.
There was no condoms back then, right?
Well, this ain't had nothing to do with that, man. Cut it out.
I'm fucking with you.
What happened was we had Just Rhyming with Biz out.
Damn, that's my next question, man. Stop doing my interview. Go ahead, continue.
I was so happy to have that song out.
Right.
Unfortunately, everybody thought it was Biz's song. It's playing on the radio, but like Biz rhymes first.
Right.
And then I come on. So they thought it was Biz's song.
Right.
So I got a new song out, yet and still though. I'm sitting at home broke.
Right.
Me and Scoob
Right.
got to walk 15 blocks to the store.
Right.
Steal Mrs. Paul's fish sticks,
Wow.
cans of shrimp,
Wow.
beer.
How old are you at this time? More or less?
19, I think, 19, yeah. But I got a record out, and I'm broke. Not making no money because nobody's booking me for no shows. Right? I think it's Biz song.
Damn.
So I'm damn near crying to Fly Ty, like, yo, man, come on, man, I need to put another song out with just me. Ty's like, yo, there's life in the song, there's life. Then finally, at some point, Ty just got tired of me asking him, and he
Just so people know, Fly Ty is the person that owns Cold
Chillin' Records. Fly Ty on Cold Chillin', yeah.
Okay.
Ty finally got tired of me asking him, and he was like, yeah, all right, go ahead, do a song. So Marley made a beat, and I wrote the rhymes to Raw. And then this girl that I was dating at the time, she was like, why you always going to Marley Mall house? Won't you spend time with me? I got records. You can look through my records and find. And she pulled these records out. And she had, the first thing I saw was the soundtrack to Black Caesar.
Wow.
And I'm like, that was my movie.
Black exploitation, right?
Yeah, yeah. That was my movie. I'm like, all right, I'll stay. So I stayed. I'm looking through her records, playing shit. And the first thing I heard was that sounded funky was Pays the Cost to Be the Boss. I heard that. I was like, oh my God, I gotta use this. But then I'm playing more. And then I heard this song, Mama Feel Good, and I heard these horns. And I'm like, oh, that would work on the beat that Marley made.
Right.
You know? So I'm like, yeah, let me grab this. And then the next morning I try to do what Biz always do. Like before he go to Marley crib, he would always stop at Downstairs Records. That was, his, routine. So I did it. And I stopped by there, and my man JC that worked in there, JC was like, yo, we just got these James Brown imports in. And he played them for me. I forgot what the first one was. Then he played the other one. It was called Cross the Tracks. Kid and Play ended up using it. I think for My Way, I think that's the name of the song. But anyway, then he played the third one. And that was the I'm like, yes, I'll take that. So I took it, went to Marley crib and was like, yo, the song we were talking about, I want to do it, but not with your beat. We need to use this. Wow. Marley spazzed the fuck out. He lost it. Nah, we need to. But then when I played the shit, Marley was like,
he couldn't deny
that shit hot. So I went to go get some pizza and he looped it up. But when I came back, he looped up the first 2 bars. I was like, nah. 6 bars in, there's an offbeat snare where it's like boom, tack, ka-doom, gap. I'm like, he like, y'all done dumped it to the tape. I'm like, yo, we need that. He mad as a motherfucker. Because now he has to resample it.
Right.
And then after he sampled it, dump it to tape again.
Right, this is pre-digital for everybody listening and watching right now.
Yeah, so he resampled the record.
Takes a lot of time.
And then dump the tape all over again. And then, he did that, and I was rocking. And I'm like, all right, put this horn part in. He sampled it, the bam, bam. And he stopped it. He like, yo, that shit sound like some Public Enemy stuff, man. We ain't trying to sound like them. Them niggas want to be Juice Crew.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, Marley, this shit gonna drive the record right here. This is the thing right here that's driving the record. That horn right there is gonna make a world of difference, I promise you. And then, he sampled it in there and put it in there. And then I was like, yo, can we get an 808 on the one? The boom. And then Marley said, watch this. Boom, boom. He was like, ah. I'm like, hell yeah. And then I went in there and spit the vocals, and the rest was history.
God damn it.
Because that's the reason why I start the song off saying, here I am, R.A.W. is because I felt like, finally, here I am. Because I lie to you not, I was broke as shit, man, with Just Rhyme with Biz.
Yeah. That's my next question. And let me ask you, because this has been like a lifelong debate for me. When I'm listening to Just Rhyming with Biz. Were y'all really rhyming in the park, or that was in the studio?
That was in Marley crib in the story.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it was me, Biz, and frickin' Frack.
Because as I listen to it now, it still sounds like, because the rumor was y'all did it in the park, and like that was like a recording. No. Okay.
Nah, because what it was like the studio mic that Marley normally have with the little screen thing in front of it. We was passing it around.
Okay, that's the reason why I said it. Because it sounds like
it was just me, Biz, and frickin' Frack from Southside Queens. The two girls from Southside Queens. The female rappers. We just rhyming after I did a song. The song is called Something Funky. It's also on the same 12-inch. Okay. That was the actual song. Right. But then we just rhymed afterwards. Marley played the freestyle, and people was requesting that more than the actual song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Fly Tie, put it on the 12-inch.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's take it to Young Gifted and Black.
Young Gifted and Black. I did a radio promo with Marley Marl called Raw Attitude. It was me and Antoinette. Because Antoinette had this song called I Got Attitude, and I had Raw. So we did this radio promo called Raw Attitude for BLS. And that's all it was, just a radio promo. But then Marley took the beat and gave it to Shan. But, it was like, I didn't actually produce this one. This was like, I just gave Marley the sample, and he put it together. And he just gave it to Shan, but he didn't ask me, can Shan have it? Oh, shit. So I was like, yo, you owe me a beat.
To Shan or to Marley?
To Marley. I'm like, yo, you owe me a beat, man. I'm like, I didn't tell you to get it to Shan. But in all honesty, I didn't really want it. You know what I mean? But I was like, you owe me a beat. So Marley played this beat one day. I was like, yo, I checked this joint out I got for Shan. And he played the shit. Yeah. I'm like, that shit's mean. And when he stopped it and took it out, I took the fucking floppy disk and hid that shit in like his R&B stash. Real talk. I made it like in another stash. And then, when the time came, it was like, yo, you owe me a beat. I need something from you. He was like, he got ready to play some stuff. I was like, no, I already know what I want. And I went right back to that stash and pulled that disc out. And I was like, I want that. And he popped it in and so it was, y'all been looking for this here shit, man. He was like, yo, this was supposed to be for Shan. I was like, well, you gave Shan my shit. And that's how I ended up with that beat, because the beat was really for Shan.
I used to do that with vinyl. I couldn't afford. I would stash it in another section of the vinyl and come back to it when I could afford it.
Exactly. You know, yeah.
For the joints that you found samples and co-produced, did you get the credit?
No. And let me just clear that up. So there's no hate or any way that anybody can try to kick dirt on Marley's name. With the joint I'm talking about, like I said, I gave Marley a beat and he put it together. Now, with like Raw and Ain't No Half Stepping, these are songs that I put together. And Marley just did it on the drum machine.
Right.
But these are songs that I put together. So I feel like I produced these songs. Did I get the credit? No.
Okay.
But these are songs that I feel I produced. Now, there have been many artists that brought beats to Marley, gave him the record, and then Marley put it together. You bring someone a record, that's what we call in the streets a good find.
Right.
A good what?
A good find.
Find, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crate digging terms.
Yeah.
That's a good find.
Okay, cool.
So that's a good find. But if you give the record to Marley and he, sample this part, sample that part, put a kick snare to it, whatever, hi-hats or tambourines or whatever, he's producing the song. You just found a dope break.
The record, right.
That's all you did.
Right.
But like songs like Raw, Ain't No Half Stepping, these are joints that, I pretty much did all the structuring.
And Young Gifted and Black or no?
No, that's Marley.
That was Marley.
Young Gifted and Black is all Marley.
Okay.
Lean on Me is all Marley.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all Marley. I'll Take You There, all Marley.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about the Wrath of Kane?
Wrath of Kane, that would be me.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a funny session too.
Right.
Because Marley was pissed, boy. Again.
Marley been pissed in a lot of sessions, good.
Nah, because he was like, it's too fast. Let me slow it down. I'm like, nah. I'm like, nah. I ain't never go this fast.
Right.
I'm like, I never went this fast. Like, I need to take it to the next level.
Right.
And he was like, yo, only people gonna like this shit is Puerto Ricans and break dancers.
I like it. I'm Puerto Rican.
Because with Wrath of Kane, it's like it had to be switched around because the beat goes boom, gat, 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 boom, gat, boom, gat. So we had to catch the second part, boom, gat, boom, gat, and make that first.
Right.
Then make the first part, boom, gat, gat, make that second. So it would be like boom, gat, boom, gat, boom, gat, gat, boom, gat, gat. But it had to be switched around. I was like, yo, nah. Get that part, then get that part, and then play that one, this first, and then after, so I had to have them do that, But once again, that was something that, that I structured as well. Because the reason for that was because Fly Tire couldn't get them to release Set It Off as the second single. He was trying to get Warner Brothers to put out Set It Off as the second single. They wouldn't do it. They wanted to go with I'll Take You There. Because now, since I was on Warner Brothers, Prince was willing to clear the sample. So they wanted to go with that. And Fly Tie couldn't get us to do Set It Off. So since I knew there was nothing I could do, and I couldn't even convince them to do Set It Off as the B-side. I'm like, well, let's set up. They was like, Warner was like, no, just in case we do a third single, we'd rather hold off.
Right.
So I just said, fuck it. Then I just went in the studio and did a new song, which was Wrath of Kane.
But what made you pick that song to come out to the Apollo with?
They told me that they record mostly everything. They was like, we record mostly. We got a studio upstairs. So like when people be on stage, we normally record, stuff. So we have a whole lot of shows, concerts, the audio recorded.
Woo.
I'm like, okay,
wow.
I want to do that.
Did you hear the crowd? Did you hear the crowd?
Yeah.
Yo.
No, not only got to hear the crowd, I can hear my asthmatic ass going, you listen to that shit. Like, that was the first time I realized, I'm like, yo, you got to get your breathing right.
But that's how you know you're a perfectionist. None of us hear that. All we hear is you tearing that shit down and the crowd going crazy.
Well, next time you listen to Wrath of Kane live,
I ain't
listen.
gonna hear it.
I'm sounding like motherfucking Darth Vader on that shit, man. You know what I'm saying, man.
I listened to it on the way here, and that shit sounds so dope. I love shows back then where you had to buy hard tickets and things like that. Do you miss days like that?
Hell yeah.
Because like right now, like these people can like buy like online, not even show up to your concert.
Well, I mean, it's not really the days of the tickets; it's the days of the appreciation.
Yeah.
It's like nowadays, you know, you come on stage. If there's 10,000 people in the audience, you're probably looking at 7,000 cell phones.
Oh yeah, right. I hate that. They're like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like nobody's really enjoying, appreciating
It's not an experience anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
It's something they're trying to capture for later, which...
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But you know, let me just tell you how powerful your stage presence is. The other day, you know, obviously I'm studying, for the interview, but I'm also just looking out on the internet, and I'm looking at your stage show, right? And then I just go randomly, and I'm looking at Moneybags Yo. And Moneybags Yo damn near did your same routine. Like damn near like, you know, jumping around. And I'm looking and I'm like, he probably don't even know, you know, like his stage presence, like where he actually got that from, like having dancers, interacting with them. And I was just sitting there like, damn, like this form of hip hop
like
still exists.
Of it, right?
It's just, it exists in a different thing.
I gotta look him up now.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar, but I honestly, if that's what you saw, then I would love to meet that brother. I would love to like really just sit and build with him about, you know, performance.
Right.
Just to tell him some of the things that I've heard.
Right.
You
know what's crazy? I used to go on the road with Akinelli. And Akinelli used to stop and he used to do like these girls with bananas, and then he had his version of Scoop and Scrap. No, they're serious because he had Put It in Your Mouth. So he had to make that one song stretch. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So big record. And then I would sit there and I'd be like, yo, Ak, and he'd be like, man, I got this stage presence from Kane. And I'd be like, did you know like a lot of people like base their stage presence on how entertaining you are on stage?
Nah, I didn't know that. I mean, I think it's beautiful, you know. I remember when me and you had the conversation in London about performing.
Oh, you
stuff,
tore it down. Oh yeah.
You know, but I mean, it's like I think it's a blessing because that's something that's been important to me.
Right.
You know, I saw Biz perform and do what he do, and I was like, yo, he's rocking the crowd. But it's like, I didn't want to do the funny stuff. Right. You know, but I'm like, okay, what's my niche? What's it going to be? And I learned my niche from Dougie Fresh. It was like, Doug came to see my show, and he was like, no, I'm going to watch it from the crowd. And he watched it from the crowd, and we came backstage. It's like everybody's like, yo, you tore that shit down. Yo, you bodied it. Well, he didn't say body then, but whatever the word slang was in like 87, you know, he's like, yo, this and that.
What did Doug say?
Doug, well, you know, in his fucking high-pitched voice, well, you know, why you didn't? You should have.
Damn, you gave him the high-pitched voice.
Everyone's telling you to kill it, but Doug's like, man, you could have did better.
The real.
Because, I mean, you was rocking, but you should have. You know, in that fucking voice, you know. And I mean, I'm like looking at him like, oh, you fucking old school hater. But then he goes, yo, what you doing? Won't you come back to the crib? Let's build. So we go back to his crib, and they pop in these videos. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Michael Jackson. Pink Floyd. And he's showing me this stuff, and he's like, yo, you see what they doing? He's like, this is what I learned from. Because everybody else is studying Run DMC and Flash and the Furious Five and Houdini. I'm studying what's never been done in hip-hop before and introducing it for the first time.
Wow.
And I'm like, So that next morning, I woke up, went straight to Tower Video, and bought VHSs of James Brown, Barry White, and Marvin Gaye, and started studying those. I mean, everything. You know, from Barry White taking his pocket square, wiping his sweat out on his face.
Where do you get that routine where you drop the mic and then you pick it back up? What is it?
With the wire.
Yeah.
Oh, drop shit so make it look good.
With the cord.
Yeah. Where did you get? Because like I know it's coming. Like it's like a magician. Like you know the trick is coming, but I still get caught. I'm looking like he gonna do it, and I still are amazed. Like,
well, you know that was something we used to do before internet days, so nobody you really knew, you know. But then once it became, like started trending so crazy, I just stopped doing it in the show. But yeah, we used to do that a lot back then. This is like early 2000s, before internet was real crazy, you know what I'm saying?
But how did you come up with that? Like, did the mic actually drop out your hand?
No. It was a rhyme that I wrote. And matter of fact, I ain't gonna put dude on blast. But yeah. Somebody had told me that, that the rhyme that I could have spit something harder. And I was just like, yeah, all right, motherfucker. And I started saying it on stage. And it was coming off on stage, And then I was like, I got an idea. This one, I got an idea. So I just
And you talking to this one person in your mind, you saying?
Huh?
You talking to this one person like
nah, it was like, they told me the rhyme wasn't hard enough, and I started saying on stage, and it's killing them. And then I'm like, I got an idea. So then I added those bars in the front of the rhyme. Those in the front where I dropped the mic. Right. And then I start the rhyme. And it started killing every night. It was just something I just came up with.
Right.
Yeah.
God damn it. Let's make some noise for that. Now we have comedians on here all the time before, and then we'll come back to this. Lean on me, and we'll come back to that. But we have comedians on here all the time, and comedians say that had they had these material that they made back then, now they might not be successful comedians. Is there any lyrics that you think though from back then that
wouldn't survive?
That wouldn't survive nowadays? That you think?
Yeah.
What's the one come to mind?
I'll Take You There. I mean, I think that the song was, what I was talking about was a, beautiful spiritual message. But I don't think it would have stood. I don't think it stood the test of time.
Okay.
Like lyrically, I don't think it stood the test of time.
You don't think it aged well?
Nah. I'll Take You There. Definitely be one of those songs that I don't think. Yeah, definitely I'll Take You There.
How about this one? You ready for one? Ready?
Mm-hmm.
You take them 8 to 80?
Yeah, like right now, if I'd have said that shit this year, I'd have had to register as a sex offender. Let everybody know I'm moving into their fucking neighborhood. Yeah, that would have went. But that's an old saying.
That was a saying,
that was a saying.
That was a saying.
Make it clear that was a saying.
Yeah, that was a saying. That was a saying.
But now, that shit would have went
saying that.
Well, also a great song with Nice and Smooth. Pimpin' Ain't Easy. That's still like around. Like people still say it. How did that record come about?
Just one night in the studio. I forgot what we was recording that day, but Nice and Smooth came through, and we just decided let's do a song.
Wow.
And
Primo did that or no?
No, I did that.
Okay, wow, that's right. Yeah. I forgot you were.
Well, I did it and had the beat rocking, and then Prince Paul, he was there too.
Okay.
He said, "Yo, let me put some drums up under it," and he put the Mary Mary drums up under it, and then basically kicked me out the fucking control room and took over the whole goddamn session.
Paul.
Yeah, Prince Paul. Yeah, he basically just took over the whole fucking session. Yeah.
Were you ever a pimp?
I'm a rap artist. Man.
He said, "Are you the cops?"
He drank to that.
Hold on. We might have talked about it last time you were here, but let's refresh it. Hollywood Burn Hollywood Burn with Public Enemy and Ice Cube. Talk about that record, the making of it.
Fire.
Well, I mean, when I got the call from Chuck, I was like ecstatic, you know, because I mean, big Public Enemy fan, and you know, he sat there and broke it down what he was envisioning, and I thought it was a dope concept. I'm like, yeah, I see it.
Right.
I love it. And then at the end, then he adds on, yeah, and Ice Cube gonna be on it too. And I'm like, oh,
you didn't know that?
Nah. He ain't tell me that till at the end of the conversation.
Right.
Yeah, he told me that at the end of the conversation.
Right.
So I was like, you know, like, yeah. So I mean, I really wanted to like really come through because Chuck was somebody that I really admired, looked up to because of what he represented in hip hop.
Right.
You know, the type of figure he is.
Right.
You know, he's someone that I've always admired, respected, and looked up to.
Right.
So I was like, I'm honored to be on a song with you.
Right.
You know, and I wanted to be right.
Right. So you wrote your verse before knowing Ice Cube was on there?
No. He told me at the end of the conversation.
Okay.
So I knew Ice Cube was going to be on it.
Right.
You know?
And Chuck told us that song is what kind of ushered, you know, Cube's leaving NWA and working with the Bomb Squad and was a part of that whole like transition.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Speaking of that, do you write your rhymes different when you know someone else is on the record? Or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I know that someone like real lyrical on a joint, matter of fact, I'll tell you a funny story.
Let's go. We into it.
Did a song with Game. I can't remember the name of the song. I know the chorus is like, KRS spits like, you know the Game spit like, Big Daddy Kane spit like, I can't remember the name of the song. But anyway, when we did it, now I had did a song with KRS called, it was with Tony Touch. It's me, KRS, and G Rap.
On the 50 MCs?
I think so.
Okay.
But yeah, me, KRS, and G Rap, we did a song. And me and G Rap, we came in there on our shit. And KRS came in there, you know, as the teacher. Right? And we just did a show together, and, you know, he was in his teacher mode. You know?
Chris.
You know,
Okay.
So this night at the studio, I'm like, okay, me, Game, KRS, you know, okay.
This is in Los Angeles?
Yeah, in L.A.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just,
Lucky man, Game.
me and Heavy
KRS
D,
and Kane?
me and Heavy D, rest in peace, had just did a show at House of Blues.
Wow.
Wow.
And they asked us to come through. Game, you know, his
So
people.
this is Game session. He invites
It's
you.
Game. Yeah.
You, KRS, and Heavy D. Oh, Heavy D didn't go.
No, not Heavy D.
Okay.
He invited me,
And KRS.
KRS, and Dougie Fresh.
Oh, God, Game.
Like Doug beatboxes at the end.
Wow.
Wow. History?
History, there you go.
Okay.
Yep, that's the name of History.
Okay.
That's a dope name
Yep.
for this track.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, in my mind frame, I'm like, you know, shit, I'd have been drinking,
Right.
half drunk. I'm like, but I got some old shit.
Right.
I got some old shit that'll tear them apart. I ain't even tripping.
Right.
And I get there. And then KRS goes in there and rhymes first. And I forgot what he said, something about remember that song, Chicken Noodle Soup, that's how your head gonna look on the back of your coupe. And he was saying he said something about pussy you eat around the bush, and then it was like, and then like I just got up and I grabbed my wife and I'm like yo, go in there and make me a cup of coffee. And she was like, what? He was like, yo, I need some coffee. I gotta wake the fuck up. She was like, what's wrong? She was like, what's wrong? I mean, the teacher's not here, it's Blast Master.
He's here, Blast Master.
I was like, yo, it's the teacher's not here. It's Blast Master.
That's awesome.
I was like, Chris ain't fucking playing tonight. Let me get my shit together. Yeah, for real, man.
So that's the one time you had to rewrite your shit.
No, I didn't. I didn't write anything.
Pre-written
I was about to say some old shit that I never used.
And then KRS.
Nah, Chris ain't playing no goddamn games
Talking about
tonight.
eating around the pussy.
Yeah. I can't remember the line. It was a dope line.
Hold on, I'm gonna use the bathroom one more time. Go ahead.
Do you think, in terms of like the way that hip hop, the trajectory, people are saying that it's become a commodity for industry and the cultural aspect, which is graffiti, the dancing, the break dancers, the b-boys, the b-girls, the DJs, the MCs, has been dissected, taken apart. Do you feel that that's true or not true?
Yeah, but I mean, you know what you expect, man. I mean, that happened with rock and roll. That happened with jazz. You know.
You don't think it's avoidable for hip hop that it can come back to what it was?
Not unless we take control of hip hop. And when I say we, I don't mean the artists. I mean y'all motherfuckers, you know, and like the Kevin Lyles and, you know, those type of cats, you know, say like, okay, look, I want this, but I also want this. You know, I want to talk about this, but I also want to talk about that.
Right.
You know, and it's like showcasing the lyrical artists, showcasing the conscious artists, you know, and making it where, you know, everybody gets that same equal type of play. Because, I mean, you got to think about it, you know, conscious hip-hop was the forefront back then. NWA didn't really get no radio play.
Right.
Luke didn't get no radio play. Ghetto Boys, G Rap, they didn't get no radio play.
Right.
You know, because of the violence or the sexual content that was mentioned in the lyrics.
Right.
You know, conscious hip hop was the forefront, but they still went platinum, double platinum. You know what I'm saying? Because people loved them.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about? Native tongue?
We're talking.
No. We're just talking about culturally. Like, you remember what we talked about with Special Ed about the industry making hip hop and rap music specifically the commodity and the culture dissected into.
But I mean, you know, so you got to understand. It's like, you know, from a business aspect, it's all about what's going to generate money, and that's the only thing they're going to think about. A corporation is only going to think about what's going to generate money. And once something becomes commercial, what happens is quality goes out and quantity comes in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But what's different, I think, for what you're saying and for hip hop specifically with the elements, is that the music was the first thing that they were easily able to make money off of. But the other elements found their way in terms of the art, figuring out ways to make money. Now breakdance is going into the Olympics. They figured out a way to make money. And those elements internationally are just as big as the music itself.
Yeah.
So it's just, maybe hip hop could be different.
Well, I mean, it's like graffiti found its way into art.
Right.
Not elevating as hip hop.
Right.
It found its way into art. Breakdancing found its way into the Olympics.
Right.
You know what
I see what you're saying.
Not elevating as hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
I said it earlier. I think I said they said they brung Big to your crib, but was the rumor that Jaz-O brung Jay-Z to your crib?
No.
Okay.
Shirt Kings.
Oh, Shirt Kings in Queens?
Yeah.
Queens, we always got something to do with it. God damn it. I'm fucking around. My bad.
Waiting for your
I was waiting for my Queens props. Yes. Brooklyn out.
Come on, girl. Nah, come on. Give it up for Queens.
Yeah, because the rumor was that you were supposed to sign Jay-Z at one point. Was that just a rumor? Can we straighten that out?
No.
Okay.
Can we straighten that out?
Yeah.
What it was Shirt Kings asked me to do a mixtape with Jaz-O.
Jaz-O, okay.
Yeah. I came, met with them, and then Jaz said, "Can my man rhyme on the tape?"
Wow.
I said, "Cool." So we did the mixtape, me, Jaz, and Jay-Z.
Okay.
And then on the ride back home, Nike from the Shirt King says, yo, really we wanted you to do this because we trying to get Jazz a new deal. And we was wondering if you'd be willing to work with him to get a new deal.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, honestly, I kind of like the light-skinned motherfucker better. Is it possible I can work with him?
All right.
And then that's how me and Jay-Z got connected.
Oh, because you didn't know Jazz. I thought y'all was like from the same neighborhood or something.
No, Jazz was somebody that, shit, back then, Jazz was somebody I was like extremely jealous of.
Yeah, wow.
Because Jazz was the hottest unsigned artist in Brooklyn. Like, no, Jazz was so popular in Brooklyn. Like, I had battled a lot of people. My name was buzzing, but it wasn't like Jazz. It was like, it was like Fat Boys and Houdini.
Right.
Jazzo. Big Daddy Kane.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, yeah, you know, so it was like, yeah, he was like popular like a signed artist. Back during my battle, and I always wanted to battle this dude, but could never find him. I even went to Marcy and battled some other dude because Jazz wasn't around.
Wow.
But I mean, I was like, you know, like, I want to battle some. So when they said that about it, you know, it's like I got records out and stuff, but I mean, it was like I'm thinking in that mind frame, you know. But then when they said this, it was like, I mean, it was great, you know, meeting Jazz. And he did that fast rapping shit that night. You know, it's the first time I heard that shit, you know. And I was like, yo, dude is dope. You know, I'm like, but yo, that other dude, he just reminded me of me with his slick ass tongue. I'd like to work with a light skinned dude. And then, it was Jay-Z. And then we started working together.
I want to touch on something you said earlier, because you said a mixtape. When you say a mixtape, I want these people to understand what you meant by a mixtape. When you
well, what was Fresh Gordon had a tape with a bunch of songs on it, but he had a freestyle on it. You know, it's like, you know, songs
like an intro.
Yeah,
right.
And it was a freestyle with me, Jazz, and Jay-Z.
Wow.
That was on, you know, a tape with a whole bunch of other artists, you know, music mixed together. But anyway, though, you know, I started working with Jay-Z. I started taking him in the studio and recording songs on him and trying to get him signed. And, you know, we went to many different labels.
I need you to name one label that eat their heart out. Who did you bring that fronted on Jay-Z?
Giant Records.
Oh, they gone.
Def Jam.
They fucked up Def Jam. Go ahead.
Giant Records, Def Jam, Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers, you fucked up. We get money from Warner Brothers.
When I'm on Warner Brothers. I was on Warner Brothers.
That's wild that they turned.
Wow.
But they turned it down. You know,
wow.
Oh. But I mean, and then like when I went on the road with Patti LaBelle, I saw that Patti was doing outfit changes. Like, I'm sitting there talking. I'm like, yo, is that the same shit, Patti? Patti didn't have red on just a minute ago?
Right.
He's like, yeah. Like, that's about the third time she done changed her clothes. And I'm sitting there. So now I'm paying attention. So when her tour ended and I went back on my tour, I'm like, I called Jay-Z and I called Positive K. I'm like, yo, I need y'all to come on the road with me. I'm like, I'm going to bring y'all out in the middle of the show. So I can do outfit changes.
I got her, man. What your man got to do with me?
Shut up,
Positive K. Holy shit.
That famous recording that's with Jay-Z comes out. Biggie comes out also, right? Jay-Z comes out, Shaheem.
Oh, yeah. In Madison Square Garden. Yeah, I think it was in 93, I believe. Big had asked Mr. C, can he come to the show at the Garden?
Right.
And said, yo, can I come and can I bring Tupac? Because Pac was in New York.
Right, the same. Right.
All right.
And, you know, C asked me, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, bring him on through. So Big brought Pac through, and at the end of the show.
That's right, that was at your show.
Yeah, it's my show, yeah.
Okay, that's right. The famous Biggie, Pac, rhyming.
Yeah, it's my show.
Shit, I totally forgot.
I got that down here on vinyl. Tape Masters pressed it up, and I got it on vinyl.
Holy shit.
That was the Budweiser Superfest, I believe, 1993. You know, near the end of the show, I brought them all up on stage. Big, Pac, Shaheem. Yeah.
Shaheem was there too?
Yeah. Shaheem was on tour with me. Like his label sent them on tour.
Jay-Z was there too?
No, Jay wasn't there. No,
Because not Jay-Z's not on one of the recordings?
no, he's not on that. Not on that one.
Or maybe he's on that vinyl, just on something else.
Jay, I think you talking about my birthday party in '91.
Okay.
That's probably what you talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, with that one, it was just me, Shaheem, Big, Jay, and Scoob.
Scoob, I remember.
Yeah. And Fat Joe was there too.
Right, yeah. He always
because
talked about the night with Tupac and
because Joe was supposed to go next.
Right.
Joe was supposed to go next, and then they was on the side of the stage letting me know you got 5 minutes left, and I still hadn't done half stepping or warming up.
Oh God.
Yeah, so I couldn't let Joe on, and I had to like. I can't, man. You know.
That's sign language from the stage.
Yeah. And no, because I mean, it's like, you know, I know that feeling because, like, you know, I was where Joe was, I was there like a year before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With Bobby Brown, you know, brought me on and let me rock, you know. So, I mean, I really wanted to bring Joe on, but we only had 5 minutes left, and I still hadn't done half stepping or warming up.
Did you ever think that Tupac and Big, they camaraderie that they had at that time, would ever end up where they was at, especially that night? Did you see, like, you know what I mean?
Successfully or returning to the essence? What you mean?
I meant, like, you know, their
Becoming
turmoil,
beef.
like them
Becoming
having beef.
Oh, the beef.
Because at that time, when you look at that, when you look at them,
they look like best friends.
They look like best friends. They look inseparable.
These like.
They're two
These
gentlemen.
motherfuckers are standing next to each other, you know, puffing weed and you know, and yeah.
And you just said Big brung Tupac. You just said that.
Yeah.
So you didn't even invite Pac.
No,
you
no,
invited Big, and Big brung Tupac.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And you saw the chemistry. You saw that they were.
They was cool. They're like they look like, you know, like, and I saw them, like, you know, probably doing a whole bunch of songs together and all types of shit, the way they looked that night. Yeah, I saw an amazing chemistry.
So what did you think when this beef did transfer? Did you like, nah, this can't be?
I mean, it really hurt, man, because, you know, it's like I saw the LL Kumo D beef, and then they would be in front of each other, shaking hands, laughing.
Right, yeah.
You know, say some sarcastic shit back and forth to one another, but it was all love.
Almost like a sport.
Yeah. I've seen, you know, with Shan and KRS in the same room, and, you know, it wasn't, you know, no drama. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, to understand that, like, you know, Cold Crush, Fantastic Five, like, these dudes battling for $1,000. You know what I'm saying? And the $1,000 go to the winner. The other motherfucker is broke. And then the $1,000, how you split that against 6 members?
Right.
You know? And it's like, you know, like, that's what hip hop is to me. That right there.
Right.
Where, you know, 6 dudes can battle another 6 dudes to split $1,000.
Right.
And then go home satisfied. And look at that, whoever lost, it's like, we need to write some new shit. And that's the end of it. You know, to see that this can escalate into something like that, you know, it was just sad to see, man. It was sad to see.
Right. How was it traveling to LA at that time for you? Like, you know, I mean, I remember somewhere around that period, we had no choice. Like, when we landed to LA, like, the record labels had security around us. Like, we had no choice. How was it for you after that time period?
Nah, I had no problems. I mean, you know, that shit nobody was looking at me like that. Like, I never had no issue. I mean, I think that was more or less a bad boy death row thing.
Crew against crew.
You know. Now, there was some of y'all that, you know, it shit may have trickled down on, because it's like, okay, I think there was some shit with N.O.R.E and you know, with your affiliation with N.O.R.E.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so it could, you know, but with me, it was like I wasn't affiliated with none of that shit.
Didn't Eric B try to sign you to Death Row East at one point?
Yeah.
Okay, how did that? What happened with that?
He called and said, "Yo, Suge trying to build a Death Row East, man, and I think it might be a good look for you."
Right.
And he ready to cut a check.
Right.
You willing to meet with him? I'm like, yeah. So I went out there. We had a meeting. And then he was like, yo, we going to Vegas tomorrow. You want to roll? Yeah. So I went to Vegas with them for a Tyson fight. And then, we out there.
The Tyson fight?
No, not the one that Pac died.
Oh, God.
No, this was the one right before it.
I'm sitting here bracing myself.
No.
I thought he was setting up a crazy story.
No. This is the one before that one. But we went, and Suge was talking about working with Death Row artists. I'm like, yeah. And then Pac came over and he was like, yo, I love to work with Kane. And he was like, well, shit, let's stop talking about it. Let's make it happen. So we leave Vegas, and we just got there. We leave Vegas and go back to take a flight back to LA that night.
Wow.
And go to Death Row Studios.
To do the deal?
No, to record.
Oh, to record, okay.
So me and Pac went in the studio and did a song together.
Oh, shit.
And then them little dudes.
Outlaws.
Yeah.
Outlaws.
They came, as soon as we got there, they came up to Pac talking about, yo, Lauryn Hill dissed you, Mobb Deep dissed you, this and that, and So then Pac went in the studio and started writing some shit about, I think it might have been that, yeah, I think it was.
You were there, Kane?
Jesus. Yeah. He started.
He said, yeah.
He started writing that shit. And while he was in there writing that shit, I wrote a song for Hammer.
Because Hammer was on Death Row, right?
Yeah, Hammer was on Death Row too. Yeah, I wrote a song for Hammer. And then they was like, yo, Suge ready to meet with you. And we sat and we had a meeting. And like when I walked in, these two big ass Rockwilders came
around. Felt like there was dogs there.
Yeah.
Felt like there was dogs there. Go ahead.
They come running around, sniffing around me and stuff, And then Suge, he comes out the back, sits down with his cigar, sits his cigar down and does this. And both the dogs ran and sat down next to him. So I'm like, okay, this one of them meetings. I
don't know why I had never in my mind pictured this meeting happening.
Yeah.
This is the best.
And then we talked.
Right.
And he said, well, what you want? And, keep in mind, this is back then, so I'm like, and I'm not sure where his head is at and how relevant he see me.
Right.
So to play it safe, I'm like, well, listen, man, why don't we just do a 1 album deal with a 1 year option?
Right.
And say like a 400,000 advance.
Right.
And he's like, that's an odd number. Why you ain't just simply say 500,000? Like, well, the 500,000 it is then.
Right.
Man, you Big Daddy Kane, man.
Right.
I can't see myself, signing you for less than $1 million. I got to give you $1 million.
Wow.
He said, because you're already a household name.
That's
fire.
And then he said something that was so appealing. He said, because you see, Pac became a household name. Snoop became a household name. And that's what I be trying to tell the Dog Pound. They got to, make themselves a household name, but they don't want to identify, as individuals. They just want to keep screaming Dog Pound, and that's why the motherfuckers only sold 2 million. And I'm like, 2 million is low number?
Right.
I'm like, my man. So that was appealing to me when he said that.
Uh-huh.
But then he was like, well, yo, look, I don't know how you doing financially. But if you want, I can, probably, just give you $100K in the morning.
Right.
That's when I knew it was time to go.
Right.
I was like, you just gonna give me 100,000?
Right.
Nah, I don't.
No contract.
Like, I owe someone 100,000 with no agreement. Nah, I was like, I'll let you know tomorrow. And then I went and switched my flight to like a 6 a.m. joint. Got the fuck up out of L.A. Hit Eric and was like, yeah, nah, I'm good, man.
Wow.
I'm a chill, man.
But it wasn't nothing like physical or nothing. It was
Nah.
just,
nothing
He
like
showed,
that.
it seemed
just
like he
didn't
showed
feel
mad
right.
respect.
Nah, Suge showed mad love. It was just that.
It just didn't feel right.
Yeah, it's like that's not. I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like to me that's like the start of debt, and it just wasn't a good. I didn't feel it.
It's almost like the guy checking into jail and he finds a box of Newports on his bed.
My man.
Like, what the fuck did this come from? Like, that like this ain't free. There's something to be paid back from you taking that.
Exactly.
Lucy. Yeah,
exactly.
I understand.
You understand me?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
So, what was the beef with you and MC Shan?
The beef. Honestly, I don't know what it was. I guess when I got down, according to Shan, it was like. He said that's what their thing was. Like, you're the new member, you got to
like
pay dues. Yeah,
right.
You got to pay dues.
Wow.
But it's like when I got down with Biz, it wasn't that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like like he saying slick shit or asking me to carry his bags or no shit like that. So when I got down and Shan kept referring to me as the new nigga. I just felt like, okay, dude got something against me. And, I try to, just keep my distance. But I remember one time in I think it was in Virginia, a show with Fat Boys and Salt and Pepper. And, he was he was getting real extra with it. And, I said something to Biz about it, and Biz told me to chill. So I just try to keep my distance. It's like, all right, and I was like, all right, let me just stay away from dude. And that's the way I just tried to handle it.
Right.
But then we eventually got cool.
Okay.
Like it was me and him. We was living on the same block, and G Rap was living in the condo right behind me.
Damn.
It's a hip hop neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, word.
Yeah, so we ended up getting cool. I'm in his condo, he in my condo, that type of thing. Yeah. I mean, I love Shan, man.
Right.
I love Shan. It's like, once I got to know him, I know that, okay, yeah, he just...
The personality.
Yeah, he just like to argue and, that's his thing,
Yeah.
And, I love Shan.
So, is the symphony the greatest hip hop posse cut of all time?
I think so. I mean, only reason I say that is because when I think of like my favorites,
what is your favorite?
like Headbanger.
Ooh, EPMD.
Yeah. K-Solo.
That's the Headbangers? Headbangers?
Headbangers, the name of the song.
Well, Def Squad though, right?
Yeah, Def
Squad, I'm saying.
Headbanger.
No, Hit Squad.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the hit.
What's the Jay-Z joint? You, Me, Him, and Her. Is that the name of it? You, Me, Him, and Her? Yeah. Like when I think about it, it's like the reason why I would go with the symphony is because I think that everybody on there spit fire.
Yes, I believe so.
I
agree.
I think there's a lot of great posse joints. Oh, what's the N.O.R.E joint? Live at the Barbecue?
Live at the Barbecue.
Yeah.
But that's more of a extra P joint.
No, that's a posse cut.
It's a posse.
No, but you said the Nas joint. I want to give it to.
Well, I mean, I just meant.
Oh yeah. No, but he's saying Live at the Barbecue.
The large. I'm sorry.
but he's hip-hop.
No, you're right.
It's how a lot of people discover.
You're right.
It's how a lot of people discover Nas.
Main source.
Yeah,
That's the main source record.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Hip-hop heads were killers.
Back to the Grill again too is a good posse cut.
Back to the Grill again,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. That one too. Yeah, there's a lot of them, but it's like
Man from TV.
Scenario.
I think.
Scenario.
Scenario's number 2. I think Symphony's number 1. Scenario's number 2.
See with me, it's like I would probably go Symphony, Headbangers, and then You, Me, Him, and Her.
I forget what that one is.
That's Jay-Z, Bleak, Beans, and what was the girl name?
Oh, Emil.
Emil, yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't put that up there.
Yeah, I don't got that up there. I got
me.
Reservoir Dogs with Jay-Z and the Locks and Beans and them. I got that up there more, Reservoir Dogs.
I love that You, Me, Him, and Her.
I got I Shot Ya.
Yeah. I wouldn't even. I know this is not. It wouldn't be considered a posse because they're a group, but they are individuals. Is Protect Your Neck.
Nah, I can't put that as a posse because
they're a group. But
group.
looking back at it now as they're individuals is ill.
You know, I didn't realize how out of line I was while rhyming on the symphony until I seen Talib Kweli the other day. He did it, and I wanted to call him and say, "Don't you ever do that again."
I think that Talib verse was dope, man.
Yeah. It's just none of us can recreate that moment. We just gotta leave that goddamn record alone. All of us, leave the fucking symphony alone.
No. But I think honestly, I thought that it was just great to just see that type of vibe. You know, because I mean, it's like, you know, you got to think from a musician standpoint,
right?
You know,
right.
It's like there's a lot of stuff that you look at as classics,
right?
But like, tell the truth, man.
Right.
You like say. Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney. You wouldn't have been mad at Prince doing Paul McCartney vocals, would you?
Nah, not at all.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, it's like, you know, sometimes it's something. It's just a little different,
right?
You know, it's the original, and that's
show
the
you
shit.
A variation of it,
you know. But yeah, it's good to just, you know, think out the box and try something different sometimes, man.
So you my bad for changing up, but you recently just performed in Queensbridge.
Yeah.
And you how was that?
I mean, it was like I had G Rap come into Lincoln Center.
That was dope.
And he's told me that he had a show in Queensbridge. And I'm like,
he brought you out. I thought you brought him out.
No. It was G Rap show, and he told me he had a joint in Queensbridge, and I was like, when? I'm like, well, I'm here in New York. I mean, I'm like, you need me? And he was like, hell yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. And I was like, well, shoot me your email, and I'll send you an instrumental of the symphony, because he said he only had a version, you know, an edited version just for his verse.
Oh.
So I was like, I'll send you a version, you know, for both of us.
Okay.
And then he was like, you know, and I was like, you need me to do something else? He was like, yeah. I was like, all right, well, I'll send you the symphony joint. I'll send Warm It Up. And then, you know, I came, you know, rock with him.
God damn it! Yo, I don't know why. I think I spoke to Tragedy, and he said that he came to see you, I believe, and when you was in Queensbridge or something like that, or he came to see you perform. But so they didn't announce your name?
No.
Oh, you was a surprise.
Yeah, I was a surprise guest because this was G Rap show. You know,
okay.
I mean, it's like, you know, G Rap. That may be my favorite MC, man. I mean, he's someone that I've always loved, and he's always been so inspirational to me, man. I can remember numerous nights, you know, back in the 80s, like, you know, I called his brother up on the phone late at night, right? And I'm like, you know, like, yo, check this out. I got this joint, the best. So yes, I guess, the rest, your fest, you know.
Fine.
And he like, oh, that's fire. Then 2 nights later, G-Rap called me back, and he like, yo, I just wrote this joint. Check this out. The creature, feature, capture, rupture, teacher. And he like it was like you know what I'm saying? He was like that dude that always kept me on my toes, man. I mean, and just a hell of an MC.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the crazy thing is, like, we got down with the Juice Crew.
Right.
Damn near the same time.
Right.
Like, he got down like maybe like 6 months before me or some shit like that.
Right.
You know, because Polo had this dude Frost, and he got locked up, and then Polo, you know, brought G in.
Right.
And then Biz brought me in.
Right.
But this all happened in '86.
Wow.
You know.
So let me ask you: if you have a show with Master Ace, Craig G, G-Rap, and you all on the same show, who performs symphony? Do y'all do it together, or do y'all do it separate?
Oh no, we would definitely do it together.
Okay, well, who's set?
You gotta end the show, and whoever's
I mean, I guess whoever's going last, I would think, would make the most sense.
Okay.
Yeah, whoever's going last.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be selfish for somebody to come out and just do their first, right?
I mean, I don't think that we would do that. I think that, we would, get together collectively and just, figure out, okay, yeah, how we going to work the symphony in.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let me ask you, right? Everyone has love for Mr. C. Everyone knows. And, from you to Biggie to all of this. And then it was at one point, it was like this controversy that he was going through. What did you think of that when you heard, like he was living an alternative lifestyle?
I mean, that's his life. I mean, this a brother I've known since high school.
Right.
I've known this brother since high school, and he held me down through thick and thin.
That's beautiful.
So I've always loved and respected Mr. C. Mm-hmm. And whatever he going through, I personally feel like I'm going through it too. That's cool. I mean, anything I can do to help or be in his corner, I'm willing to do. I love Mr. C like a brother.
That's dope. That's dope. Let's make some noise for Mr. C. So what's left for Kane to do in this game, man?
I think honestly, I wanna do some more movies, and I really wanna connect with some young artists. I would really like to build.
I like that.
With some young artists, Yeah.
Mentorship.
Yeah. I mean, I just certain artists I just see and I'm like, I see something special. Like Lady London, I think she's special. I think Lola Brooke is special. I think
saw it in Jay-Z earlier, you said.
Are special.
Right.
Certain artists I just feel like they just special.
Right.
Even Conway the Machine.
Right.
There's something special about him, but I don't know if he's really channeling into it. I think I see it, but I see something very special.
Have you guys collaborated?
Yeah, we did a song. I did a song for Buster.
Okay.
That's right.
Slap.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like 3 generations. I saw it.
Yeah.
You got a video and everything, right?
Yeah.
We did
it here in Miami. Yeah.
Hip hop, man, like coming on 50 years. I know we spoke about it earlier. I know we spoke about the cliches of it being this far, but now with this AI thing, are you with AI? And not Allen Iverson.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
No, I am not. And here's the realest shit about that. Mm-hmm. AI comes into effect, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to affect me. Mm-hmm. I'm a performer. Mm-hmm. I have a set fan base where I haven't had a hit record in like 30 years. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. It's not going to affect me.
Right.
There's Big Daddy Kane fans that want to see me, hear me. Mm-hmm. I think that what's gearing up for the future is that, because right now, with the younger generation, it ain't like how I said, if we got a 10,000 seater, 7,000 of them got their phones out. With the younger generation, they're in a 10,000 seater, 10,000 of them got their phones out.
Yeah.
So they're already watching the show or filming the show instead of really focusing on it.
Right.
It's a phone thing, right?
Right.
We got AI and we have holograms.
Right.
We got a bunch of young artists that's not really performing on stage.
Right.
So what's going to happen is there's going to be digital artists.
Yeah.
They're going to create holograms of this perfect looking artist.
Oh, you didn't see? They had one. They had like a artist and no. Drake, shut the fuck up. No, I'm talking about there was a real artist that was an AI artist. He was signed to Universal, and then he said nigga, and then they dropped him. Oh, great. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he said like he was.
But that's what's getting ready to happen.
Right.
Where what's going to happen is they're going to create holograms, and with the AI thing, it'd be like, you know what? With this artist, give him some blonde dreads, make a bunch of tattoos, muscle bound, and you know what? Make his voice sound like Michael Jackson.
Right.
Nobody ain't heard Michael Jackson spitting bars. Make his voice sound like Michael Jackson. And concerts will be downloaded to your phone.
Right.
Where you don't even have to go. Because you ain't fucking looking anyway. This younger generation ain't looking anyway. They just got their phone up the whole show. So wouldn't it make more sense for them to just be able to buy the concert and just right there? Because
Beyonce and Drake
streaming
is selling tickets to their concert where you don't even get to see them.
What do you mean you don't get to see them?
You don't get you don't. It's audio only.
Audio only.
Yeah,
that's some crazy shit.
It's hard. Let's make some noise for them discovering the trick. I don't know, man. Just think about that. They're going there to hear it.
So, okay, you lost me then.
Yeah, they go to the concert,
right,
but they don't get to see her.
That's what I'm saying. They don't get to see him at all.
But they get to hear it. It's audio tickets. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's real.
Because the concert to me is everything is visual.
Yeah, that turns me off. Like when I go on stage, I seldomly go on stage, but I go on stage and everyone's just like this. I'm looking like, motherfucker, I'm right here.
Yeah,
that's the point, to see your favorite artist on stage live, like in the moment.
But I mean, what this younger generation need to understand that it's going to affect them down the line.
Right.
And I don't mean far down the line.
Right.
Nah, it's all happening.
It's happening very fast. And I would hate to see that happen to the younger generation where they're replaced by digital images and digital voices. I want to see them win, be successful, you know, make money, be able to feed their family, you know, and, you know, have, you know, successful careers, man.
That's part of the SAG strike right now. That big SAG strike is about all of that.
AI doing the right.
AI, that's part of it, the digital, the facial stuff, and they just want you to be a voice actor, and then they're going to take your whole image and use it. There are different things, different ways that they'll apply it.
Yeah.
And you ran into something too, the sign language interpreter. You remember what happened?
Fake one?
Oh no,
no, it was a real. No. He was a real interpreter. What happened was, like I've seen like people that do sign, and you know they're standing there, you know, doing what they do.
Right.
So when I came on stage, I'm performing, and then I look to the side of the stage, and I saw this dude like this, you know, and he's like, I didn't know that he was an interpreter.
Yeah.
I thought that he was somebody that came out on the crowd just making gestures.
Right.
You know, I don't speak sign. I mean, I don't read.
Right.
I don't, you know. So when I saw him, because of his energy, because he's jumping, so I'm thinking that he's just someone just came out there just having a fucking moment. Like, I'm Big Daddy Kane hype man.
Right.
So I pushed him to the side, and then I went, started performing. Then I looked, he was back out there again. And I pushed his ass to the side again. And then I went, and then when we finished the song, my DJ was like, yo, he, you know, he told me who he was. And then I walked up to dude, and I was like, yo, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know. I apologize. You know, I apologize.
Right.
And then I held his hand up and told the crowd, you know, like, listen, you know, I'm glad he here. I said something like, because even if you can't hear me, I want you to enjoy the show. So thank you, brother. You know, and left it like that. And then he finished doing what he was doing. But I didn't know. I didn't know.
Right. That was like your first like controversy on the internet. Like you know, like I mean,
probably.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like in this new version of
the outrage culture.
I mean, you know, everybody want to cancel you know, for something. It's like
it happens to us every other week.
It's stupid. It's like everybody looking for some shit to be bitter about. Man, you know.
Was that something abnormal to you, or you adapted to it? Because you know, back in the days, there'd be rumors about you, but it wouldn't come to you. You didn't have
especially
Twitter.
not instantaneously.
You didn't have an Instagram. Like, so was that something like that was different for you when you?
I mean, I ain't really give a shit, man. I mean, because it was like it was the type of thing where, you know, I knew I didn't do nothing wrong.
Right.
And once I understood who he was, I apologized to him.
And you did it on your Instagram as well.
In the moment.
Because I mean, and even like it was like, you know, people even had the audacity to say, well, you didn't apologize to the deaf community. I ain't do shit to the deaf community.
Right.
I pushed him.
The guy.
And I apologized to him. That's who I owe the apology to.
Right.
You know? Plain and simple. You know, and I mean, you know, because it's like I didn't know what was going on. But once I found out what was going on,
I corrected it immediately.
Quickly.
Yeah. Right.
You know, because yes, if you can't hear the show and he's there to help you, yes, I need him. Yeah. Like I would love for someone like him to be at every goddamn show.
Right.
You know, I see the importance. I mean, and I respect that. You know, yeah.
You think people are too sensitive nowadays?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Like we so sensitive that you can be on someone's side and agree with what they're saying, but just if you word it in a way that don't sound like they'll get mad at you.
That happens all the time. All the time.
Yeah. That's why it's for me. It's just so much easier to just shut what we call the fuck up. And I just be quiet and you go ahead, man.
Was it you know, because we're pushing this documentary. What made you want to come together and push this documentary?
The documentary is called Paragraphs I Manifest.
Paragraphs I Manifest.
And what it's about is lyricism in hip-hop and the importance of it. Songwriting, what made you write this song, what was the inspiration, things of that nature. Because the documentary is really for the younger generation. I want the younger generation to understand the importance of lyricism.
Yeah, we can't lose that.
You know, because it is a lost thing in hip hop, and I want them to really understand that. And hopefully, you know, by hearing from the pioneers, hearing from some of the younger generation, even hearing from some of the battle rappers, I'm hoping that it would be something that can trigger something in the younger generation. Be like, you know, I want to, you know, have some bars. I want to, you know. Because I want, like I said, I want to see these young cats win. I want to see them succeed. I want to see them keep hip hop, you know, going. You know, I'm 54 years old, my dude. You know, I'm not gonna be here forever. You know, Rakim not gonna be here forever. G Rap not gonna be here forever. You know, N.O.R.E. You know, Jay-Z, they not, you know,
And what hip hop does best is reflect and report what's going on, and how can it do that if it has no lyrics? If you can't articulate it.
Yeah, you're right. You know, it's like, you know, there's so many dimensions of hip hop, and there's so many different things. Like some people just want to party. Right.
Which is a part of it. It's the balance.
Yeah. But I mean, I just think that when you are lyrical, it can help with your longevity. I just believe that. Because there's so many artists that drop party songs and then a year later they're forgotten. Because a new party song came out. Because it's like all of that was just part of a trend. But there's lyricists that said something that stuck to your soul. And these artists had longevity because of something that you said that they probably repeat daily, yearly.
And the idea of a lot of us learned vocabulary off of lyricists, off of MCs. I was never good at in book studying, but lyrical artists made me want to, I don't know that word. What does that word mean? I want to understand this rhyme.
That's how I graduated high school. Real talk. That's how I graduated high school.
Looking up rap lyrics.
No.
Elevating your lyrics.
I was failing in social studies. And I was doing great in math, great in science, great in English. My guidance counselor, he was pointing stuff. And I had and this is me, my guidance counselor, and my mother. We're talking. And I said, why do we need 8 credits in social studies? We need 7 in English, 4 in math, 4 in science. But we need 8 in social studies. Why? I said, I'll tell you why. Because social studies is that part in school that teaches us all the great stuff that white people did for us. That's what you learn in American history. That's what you learn in global studies.
Right.
And that's why it's important for us to have all these courses. But after I've learned American history and global studies, how does that help me in the future? What job does that lay out for me? What I'm learning in math can lay out a job for me. What I'm learning in English can lay out a job for me. What I'm learning in science can lay out a job for me. What the hell am I learning in social studies that's going to lay out a job for me? Not a goddamn thing unless I want to be a teacher.
Right.
You know? My mother did this. That was her, I want to slap the shit out you, but, you know, we're in front of people, so I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And my guidance counselor, he said, I understand. And he looked out for me. Because, you know, I don't know, like, you know, back then, you know, you get a credit for government or law, not both. You get a credit for Black history or Puerto Rican studies, not both. I got credits for both because he was looking out for me. Because he felt that I was a good student. Plus, I said rhyme on the loudspeaker in the morning, official period, yeah, shit like that, you know. So he was looking out for me, you know. But still, I didn't have enough credits to make that 8. So, yeah, I was close to failing. And then Melly Mel says on Beach Street Breakdown, Decca Outreach, Hiroshima, Vietnam, Leningrad, Iwo Jima, Okinawa, Korea, the Philippines, devastating deaths by the killer machines. And I was like, I'll never be a dope MC if I don't know what the fuck he talking about, and I damn sure don't know right now. And I went back to my guidance counselor. I said, all right, I'll take American history. Shit that I opposed, I took it, not because I wanted to learn American history, not because I wanted to learn global studies, but I felt like if I learned this shit, I'd be able to rhyme like Melly Mel.
Right. Hell yeah.
That was hard. What's on Daddy Kane Rider? Like if a promoter books you, what is that you the essentials that you need to do this show?
Oh, to do the show?
Yeah, like the rider.
Shit, I didn't know. Well, to do the show, I just need a microphone. But after the show, yeah, you know, some sweet, you know, some nice grapes, you know.
Okay.
And
what do you prefer? Camus? Opus 1?
We gonna do this again?
Yeah. I mean, we gotta do it on mic now. We did this off the mic. You know me or you.
Nah, well, I mean, like I explained to you before, I mean, with Camus, you know, it's the year. If you can still find a 2019 Camus, amazing. The 2020, you know, but the 2019, amazing. But right now, I'm pretty much on Cade. That's Howell Mountain.
How you spell it? Cade?
C-A-D-E. Cade.
C-A-D-E.
It's a Howell Mountain. It's like a younger version of Plum Jack.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you don't want to spend all that money on a Plum Jack, like, yeah, the Cade I think is like maybe like about $120 a bottle. About $120. But that's a good cab, an amazing cab.
Okay.
Or like a nice Barolo.
What?
Barolo. It's Italian.
I don't know this one.
No, it's Italian. No. We had one.
Okay,
we was at the joint. The last wine, the last bottle we opened.
Okay. Because I got something that you put me on your shit. Yeah.
You got the. Did you get the Camus? Or?
I got the Camus, and I believe
the bottle that I bought. Well, not bought. You bought everything. But
that's right, baby.
The bottle I ordered. The bottle I ordered.
Yeah.
That was a Barolo.
Okay.
It's an Italian grape, but it's nice, medium bodied.
Okay.
Red, but I mean it's real smooth. Yeah.
So the promoters, if they gotta book you, it's always a red. What else is on your rider that's like a little crazy? Like
nah. I don't got no white M&Ms and no crazy shit like that.
No green M&Ms?
No.
Okay.
Nah.
See, you gotta stop that, EFN.
Oh fuck you mean? You're the one with the
He only want the orange M&Ms.
No, listen to him.
And yellow Skittles. You know what I mean?
Nah.
So you don't got nothing like just the red skin off the apple. You don't got nothing like that.
Nah, Saquon ain't nothing crazy on the rider, right?
Saquon, the guard body, he ain't got nothing on the rider. He ain't got Jolly Ranchers on the shit.
Nah, ain't nothing crazy on the rider, man.
Okay, has Kane ever had a stylist?
Yeah. Yeah, for a brief moment. It's like, you know, I'm one of them dudes that like going out the box. And, you know, sometimes, you know, stylists, you know, they might want to tone you down. But it's like, it's certain controversies I like. I enjoy. So it's like, if I wear something that's a little over the edge, there's a reason. There's a method to my madness. It's like, I got this on, it look a little crazy. But it's like, watch your mouth.
That's your dark skin brother. He been holding you down all day.
It look a little crazy, but the reason I'm wearing this is so that the guys will clown it, and the women will defend me.
Right. Right.
You get it?
Yeah.
So it's a method to the madness, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, the women defending me, they see it. They like, But it's not until the guy clowns me that they go public. Oh, no, you didn't. You ain't gonna look that good in this hair. You don't know. Then see, that's when they go public and they go rampant. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, like Beyonce's Beehive. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. But it's like, you know, you got to get them there. You know what I'm saying? So it's stuff that I do on purpose, intentionally. You know. Right.
Yeah. The Madonna book, was that a stylist who gave you the Speedos? No.
I can't stand your head, man.
He wants to buy his Speedos.
No, I've been sitting there patiently waiting for N.O.R.E bullshit. I'm like, God damn, we've been here for a long time and he ain't said none of this bullshit yet.
Nah, you know I love you, Kane, man.
I've been waiting for this. Oh my goodness.
Nah, man, no, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna be honest. And let me say this for you know, all the youngins, and I don't know, I've been critiquing the young people, you know, all night, but I want to say something. You know, I'm honored to call you my OG. I'm honored to, you know, follow in your footsteps. I'm honored to honor you. I'm honored to show you how much you mean to the rap game, show you how much you mean to us, show you how much you mean to the culture. This is a blessing, man, to tell you to your face, you know what I'm saying? Face to face, man to man, eye to eye, man, what you mean, you know what I mean? And
thank you.
It means everything to us, man. We all in a group chat, everyone here, we're all, and if you can see how we were all excited, like we all in a group chat. I'm like, I was seriously looking at my barber, like, you think I can get away with it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, right now, you think I can get away with it? I said my shit, but see, I know myself. My shit gonna go back like this. I'm gonna have Cornell West on my ears, you know what I'm saying? On my eyelashes, I'm gonna have motherfucking buckwheat and all that on my joint. So I already learned my lesson, but I just want you to know, man, you are really an icon. You are really a legend. Something that Busta Rhymes said, you know what I mean? When he won his BET Awards, he said, our icons, our legends gotta look the part. And let me just tell you something. You always look the part. I've never seen you fall off. I've always seen you smooth. I've never seen you hate on nobody. I never seen you talk bad about nobody. I always see you with the greatest, most phenomenal energy, and I just want to give it back to you always, my brother. So, and just in case the people don't know, I'm just sitting there following you on Instagram, and I'm like, yo, you know, the show has got bigger, and I said, man, I got to give this brother his flowers the proper way. Not to say we didn't give you your flowers before the proper way, but the show has grown so much bigger, so I reached out.
And we're going to do it again, hopefully.
And we're going to do it again. This is your platform. If you want to promote pink toenails anytime.
That's his favorite thing to promote,
If you want to promote fucking coffee cups, what is this shit? What is this?
Coasters.
Coasters. If you want to, we don't give a fuck. This is your platform. You can come on here anytime you want. Motherfucking, it's everyone. Put your hands together. Stand up if you can. For motherfucking Big Daddy motherfucker. Man, thank you so much, my brother.